Steve-O.
I suppose we should get going.
Yeah! Let's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hi guys, what's going on? Welcome to it. It's Thursday. We just made it to November, guys.
Yeah.
We're here.
All Saints Day, dog.
All Saints Day. Are we celebrating All Saints Day?
Heck yeah, it's like Halloween 2.0. Let's do this.
All right.
Didn't get enough of it yesterday.
Yeah, how was everybody's Halloween? Did you guys get a lot of candy? Hopefully everybody was safe. Nobody got hit by a car.
Yes. Hopefully not.
I was so paranoid driving around yesterday.
Right?
Just waiting for a little goblin to jump out in front of me or something. And goblin, I mean little child.
Paul chimed in on Facebook and said, Steve-O, your Negan was on point, bro. I mean,
Yeah, what was up with that,
here's
dude?
a little creepy.
You're not allowed to wear that
little
costume.
Creepy thing. Not a costume. I got
Oh.
ready yesterday, and
That's your
I
outfit?
only did this because, my leather jacket that I wore yesterday, I remembered, right, I have a really dope leather jacket that I rarely wear. And then I was like, wait a second. And I went into my closet. Yep, those were my boots. Those are my pants.
Oh, that's
I got a
good,
white
man.
T-shirt, my actual red handkerchief, and I realized, oh, man, does this speak well or ill of me?
Yeah.
I am Negan.
Wow.
I am Negan.
I am Negan.
I am Negan.
Now, I am Negan.
So
Wrong.
I got into like this dissertation with a fan last night. I was like walking the streets. We're just going around. We're doing the trick or treating thing. I had the bat like on my shoulder the whole time, and I'm just standing there. And
Doing the
this
kickback.
dude walks up and he starts talking to me, and then he's like, "Oh, Steve-O," and I'm like, "Great,"
Ah.
because I'm dressed up as Negan. I've got a PBR as a prop,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and
Did you have the barbed wire wrapped around Lucille?
I didn't.
See, then you
No,
know
I
what?
didn't. Sorry, it was a real wooden baseball bat. I didn't want to ruin it because, in case I needed to crack some skulls, it was an actual bat. Weird thing is, it was a signed baseball bat that I got a long time ago from a friend of mine who was a bat boy for the Dukes.
Oh, wow.
It was Paul Konerko's actual bat. He used to play for the White Sox.
That's cool.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm like walking around with this thing going, what am I doing?
Super inappropriate.
Really
man. I
heavy.
don't know about this.
Yeah.
I don't know about
So-
this. I might have to go to HR today and have
Yeah.
a talk.
So yeah, had
if
some
it's
fun last night,
acceptable.
and then realized, man, I really, really love him.
What? What? Who?
Yeah,
Negan? What?
Because I got in this conversation, and it was like, oh,
What?
do you still watch the show? And I'm going, well, we just had Jesus on from the show, and I binged it because I was like, I better so that we have
Yeah.
something to talk to him about, and then realized I like it way better,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just want him to take over as the lead. Something might be wrong with me.
Well, we got caught up last night.
You always dress as your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
All of my kids, I realized last night, at the end of the night, we're done, we're getting ready, and I'm going, all of my kids were anti-heroes. I'm not going to call us villains because it depends on your perspective.
Yeah, sure.
Anti-heroes. We were all anti-heroes. Venom, Kylo Ren, Negan.
Right? Darth Vader.
Tattooed right over here.
Yeah, on your heart. Yeah.
So,
I don't know. What are we doing?
I mean,
What
they're not necessarily villains, right? I'll go with anti-hero.
How long you been here? Like 20 years?
Yeah,
Working
yeah.
here? Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I mean, let's be real.
Maybe they know that if you didn't work here,
Yeah.
you'd actually be a villain. So they're like,
No. Check it out. An anti-hero isn't necessarily a villain. According to the dictionary, it's still a central character in a story, movie, or drama who lacks conventional heroic attributes.
yeah.
It could be a protagonist in the story, i.e. the good guy,
Wrong.
who lacks conventional heroic qualities and attributes such as idealism, courage, and morality.
Wrong.
Who does that sound like?
That
Am
sounds
I
just
right?
like you, man. Sounds just like you.
Anti-hero.
Anti-hero. Get out of here. Oh, my gosh. Wait, what station are we on right now? What year is it? What's happening?
Hey, man, there's only one hero of this story, and it's Jesus.
Amen.
We're
Bring
all
it back.
anti-heroes.
Bring it back.
As much as we want to be
We're
the
all
hero.
villains, right?
No, we're anti-heroes.
Well,
Guys,
I mean-
I'm coining it. It's happening. No more villains. We're just anti-heroes.
I like it. Why do I like it so much?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Show me support!
Okay.
Okay.
I'm down. Let's do it. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Star88FM. You guys can join us. Tell us about your Halloween. How much candy did you get? Man, Live K tried to throw some candy on me last night when I got home, and I was like, no. If you ain't got no Butterfinger, you get that candy out of my face.
Wait, but did you have the peanut butter Snickers?
No,
We made out like bandits
See-
last night. Peanut butter Snickers.
I have a new way of thinking
Whoa.
about the candy this year is I'm not going to waste my time and eat just calories and sugar if it's not my favorite candy. Why even go there? You know?
Yeah.
Why kickstart diabetes
Yeah.
if you're not going to enjoy it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my rule to live by this year, this holiday season. Yeah, it is holidays. You know what? I don't know. I'm not going to kick into Christmas, but because I used to do that whole Christmas thing right after Halloween, but
Yeah.
just because it destroys Christmas for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because a week or two before Christmas, I'm already sick of Christmas music, and that's not the way it should be. So I'm done.
Okay.
But we will focus on Thanksgiving because that's next. Are you guys ready for the holidays, man? I'm so ready for turkey and mashed taters
Yep.
and some yams.
I spend every Thanksgiving with your family,
Yeah, you did.
the Petersons.
That's right. That's
We
right.
made the plans last night while you were out gallivanting around the town.
I was stuck at my kids'
Guys, we
apartment.
did trick or treating. We carved 5 pumpkins. We had a blast. We grilled burgers
That's
and
great.
had some green chili macaroni and cheese to top our burger with, and this
Good, I'm
amazing
glad.
salad.
Oh, good.
Some nice cold beverages, water because we walked a lot,
Yeah, that's cool.
and you were nowhere to be found. It was
Yeah.
very sad.
My kids are teenagers now, and they don't do the trick-or-treating thing, so Landon had a basketball game. Then he went over to his friend's house, which I was supposed to pick him up, waiting for his phone call or text message.
Yeah.
And Jaden, she was having like a cool little party in the living room watching scary movies with her friends, and I'm sitting there in another room just waiting for Landon to text me so I can go home so I can pick him up. He didn't text me till like 8:30 last night. It was terrible.
Also, my life is extremely going downhill because I'm getting acne and I'm getting
Yeah.
fat and I'm
This was me
balding
last
right here.
night.
If you can't see
Yep.
the whole triangle, that like a piece of hair. I'm balding. I'm balding.
That was me. Actual audio last night.
Man.
I was freaking out, man. Anyways, yeah, my Halloweens will never be the same, and that's just sad. But
They can be. Here's
but
what
no,
I
no,
found.
no, they can't be.
I found out something amazing last night.
They can't be.
It doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you're creative.
Yeah,
I got almost just as much candy dressed up like Negan as the kids.
and
Like,
you didn't ask for
I
it.
didn't ask for anything. I'm like standing at the edge of the driveway. You know, you let him walk up, and I'm holding the bat, and I'm standing back there. And there were so many times the door would open, trick or treat. Oh, you guys are so cute. What are you? Okay, cool, cute. And then they look up. Oh, Dad, that's an amazing costume. Come here. I got the good stuff for you.
Oh my gosh.
There were multiple houses that broke out like the full-size candy bars.
Oh, beautiful.
For me, because I had a great costume, and I realized I could do this every year.
Yeah.
It's called creativity. There were kids last night that were like 18 to early 20s, and like they were going door to door. And at one house, I kid you not, I laughed so hard. Brody and Luke are standing there waiting, and it's like trick or treat. And then there were these other little kids with them. So they're putting candy in the bags, and then these people walk up like my height, seriously could shave,
Yeah.
and they're walking up, and one little kid looks up at them and goes, "You're too old to trick or treat. What are you, like 18?" And the other friends, of
love
course, are like, oh. And I'm like, come on, guys, if you're going to do this, at least don't be lazy. Because they were just like,
Yeah.
I'm a football player. And I'm like, yeah, you probably are a football player. Like, they didn't have
Amazing.
any creativity.
Yeah.
So,
I get it.
and people gave them a hard time.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me a hard time.
Well, you know what?
I am 40.
You're in a good spot because Brody's so young.
Yeah.
For me, my kids, they don't want anything to do with trick-or-treating anymore. And then last night, I had all these people hitting me up on Instagram because I did a story about how depressed I was. And they're like, hey, come trick-or-treating with me and my kids. And I'm like, no. Like, my whole point is that I don't get to do it with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it with somebody else's kids.
That's true.
Like, why
That's
would
true.
I do that? There's no joy in that at all. Like, I rarely had joy when I was doing it with my kids. All right?
Man, anti-hero.
Just saying. But it's
Again,
very
an
depressing.
anti-hero.
It's just very depressing.
Due to the fact that anti-heroes are not stupid, they probably won't do anything helpful unless they are paid.
Yeah, see, pay me and I'll go. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, pay me, I'll go. Trick-or-treating with your kids, and that's super creepy and weird, too.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
It's just different now. It's never going to be the same.
Shout out to our girl Viola, who just chimed in on Facebook. Went to see the 21 Pilots concert last night in Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's cool.
They played Car Radio. First remembered hearing that song on this station, on the old show.
Yeah, well, never again.
Next Friday, I'll be seeing them. I can't wait.
Nice.
Really looking forward to that show. Thanks for ruining it that they played Car Radio. I'm just kidding.
Guys, we got a big show today. We got Brian Nixon coming in at 7. And a bunch of other great things. Netflix. Oh, got some good news on Netflix. And, yeah. How was your Halloween, guys? Anything good happen? Share your story with us. 505-338-3700 if you'd like to call in. And you can text in. What's the number?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
All right. Live from the Dream Style Remodeling. Whoa.
Uh-huh.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Remodeling Star 88 Studios. We'll be right back. Hang out.
I'm Daniel, and it's time to get in the techno. Adobe has made numerous product announcements recently. If you've got a CC subscription, you'll be happy to learn that Typekit, now branded as Adobe Fonts, is available to all subscriptions, and it's adding nearly 3,000 new fonts available for all uses. Rush CC is a new video editing app aimed at mobile users. Rush hopes to simplify the video editing, motion graphics, and audio mixing capabilities of the pro-grade apps like Premiere, After Effects, and Audition. Rush is included in most Creative Cloud plans and available on iOS, PC, and Mac. But the big news is the promise to bring Photoshop to iOS in 2019. And not some Elements garbage, we're talking full-on Photoshop, enhanced with a new cloud-based format to give what's called a, quote, Google Docs-like integration. I can't wait. I'm Daniel, and now you're in the techno on Star 88.
A supernova on Star 88 with David Jeremiah.
In Matthew 23, 25, and 26, Jesus said, Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you cleanse the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside they are full of extortion and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, first cleanse the inside of the cup and the dish, and the outside of them may be clean also. Jesus is saying, quit playing games. Quit walking around worrying about how everything looks on the outside, following all these man-made traditions, and all the while neglecting the most important thing, because you cannot ever be clean from the outside in. You can only be clean from the inside out. Uncleanness and defilement and separation from God are all matters of the intentions of the heart, not the violation of cultural rituals and formalities.
Turning Point with David Jeremiah. Don't miss it on our sister station, KNKT, weekdays at 11 a.m. on 107.1 FM.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Ooh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I am falling short. When I don't belong, oh, you say I'm yours. And I believe, what you say of me. I believe, yes, I believe what you say of me.
But let's go down.
Lauren Daigle, you're a beautiful woman, but at 6:22 a.m. in the morning, I'm not real sure. I want to go back to bed after that. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. I love that song.
Oh, I know. It's a great song. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying, holy cow, man. Give me a pillow and a blanket so I can cuddle with myself. 6:22.
Hi today at 58.
It's the Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
Last night was Halloween, but even more scary. Today is the day after Halloween. People waking up with the cruel reality that Halloween fell on a weekday, a work day, a school day. Sleepy, grumpy children who stayed up late, eating candy, and parents tired from walking their children around the neighborhood last night and also eating candy. You know you did. Sure, Halloween is fun, but today will seem like the longest day of the year. This message brought to you by people who believe trick-or-treating should always be the Saturday prior to Halloween, unless it falls on a weekend.
Beautiful. Yeah.
No, dude, for
Hey, come on,
real.
guys. Let's change that.
So tired.
You know, maybe just our mayor can change it because he's doing some pretty cool things, man.
You know what?
He's doing some great things.
Two-Face is the best.
Guys,
he's really great.
We've been freaking out because, well, we got the news about, Netflix coming to Albuquerque, and then we found out it's not a done deal. Well, guess what?
We welcome Netflix to Albuquerque, and we can't wait to get started with them this summer.
Surrounded by other city leaders, Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller signed a bill, unanimously passed by City Council 2 weeks ago, providing $4.5 million to Netflix through the Local Economic Development Act.
It does include traditional clawbacks. It does include commitments with respect to number of people they're going to hire locally and also revenue they're going to spend here over the next 10 years.
Alicia Keys, head of the city's film office, says the focus is now on getting ready for Netflix to take over Albuquerque Studios as a new production hub. And Mayor Keller hinted Netflix could just be the beginning when it comes to production companies calling Albuquerque home.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love Alicia
He was
Keys.
saying that the phone is ringing off the hook. There's all these other production companies that are like, hey, Netflix, they just signed with Albuquerque. Let's do it. Let's jump over here. We're going to become like the new Hollywood. It's going to be beautiful, man. So beautiful.
But does that mean the city has to smell like urine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Urine.
I don't love Hollywood.
Yeah. Those
really
crazy
don't.
guys that jump out of like the trees and they try to get money from you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
So what's going to happen?
Let's be better, Albuquerque.
Well,
Let's be better.
we are trying, and with this new mayor, shout out to him because not only the Netflix thing got pushed through, but he also signed a bill to expand Paseo.
He did?
Yeah. Paseo del Norte, Unsa, to all the way to
all
Unsa.
of us West Siders are like
4 lanes, baby, 4 lanes. Give us those 4 lanes.
You know what's going to be awesome? Trying to go to work during construction.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to have to just suffer for a little bit. It's okay. It's all right.
Back in my day, Paseo didn't even go all the way up to Universe. You had to take Paradise up to get to my house, and then they opened it up. 2 lanes.
Yeah.
It's been very nice.
Yep. Paseo and Unster see about 24,000 vehicles a day.
Yeah, it's awful if you're somehow stuck there like 8 or 5 or 6 or 3.
Yeah.
9er.
It's going to cost about $18 million, but you know what? We'll be completely worth it. I mean,
totally.
Just so excited for it. But
there's so much money in that area with all the coyotes and dirt.
Well, think about where we live. There's so much room for growth.
There really is.
And we need some shopping centers up there.
I kept hearing there were rumors, that they were going to do like a TJ's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept thinking,
I'm telling you,
make this happen.
Yeah. I mean, up where we're at, that's where we need some more shopping centers and restaurants. And, I'm kind of sick of having to drive down and, I just want to stay in my little neighborhood,
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting news. Good job, Mayor. Way to go. Just pushing things through. Just signing off. You know what? Here, let's just do this and do this and do this. So beautiful. Coming up at 7, we have Brian Nixon. He'll be joining us. We'll go back in time. We'll talk death. We'll talk
anti-heroes.
It's going to be great.
Making it a thing, bro.
Yes. It's National Men Make Dinner Day.
What if you make the dinner every day?
Oh.
No, I'm being serious.
I mean, yeah.
I really
Well, then
do.
you can celebrate National Cook for Your Pets Day, okay? Because it's both days today. Both things are today.
Get out of here.
All right? So there are 2 random national holidays today, National Men Make Dinner Day and National Cook for Your Pets Day.
National Men Make Dinner Day, I'm mad about. Come on, bro.
You know what, though? I would, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this.
Say it.
But I guarantee you more women cook than men.
Poorly.
Okay, well, wow. I mean, I don't know about that.
Last night I ate dinner at your house. You know who cooked the meal? Bill Peterson. Bill, the man. We go out and we murder that animal, and we want it to taste good when we do.
Yeah, but
we cook it ourselves.
But here's the thing. Kay's a way better cook than Bill.
What?
Just going to say it.
Really?
Oh, like 100,000 times better.
Who did the mac and cheese last night? Was that Kay or was that Bill?
Probably Bill, because it could have been a little bit better. Was it Kay? Please tell me it wasn't Kay.
No, I don't know. I think it was Bill.
Okay, good.
I'm just saying.
No.
Kim's saying that she makes the best food. See, here's the thing. I've got this on record from Chrissy a couple days ago. It was like, are we going to do the chicken? Are we going to do the tri-tip? What are we going to do? And then she said, well, if we do the chicken, you definitely need to do it because it tastes better when you grill it. And I'm like, I need to write this down.
Well, I mean, men are
down.
supposed to be at the grill. You know what I'm saying? We are. It's in our DNA to be good grillers. I'm just saying.
Good grillers?
Yeah, good grillers, bro. It's in our DNA. Women shouldn't be at the grill.
I will say you're right.
Just kidding.
Show me some more.
Okay.
If it's just like spaghetti or something like that, it's really hard to ruin that. So I'm like, you got it. You got it, girl.
That's so awesome.
But I really do. I'm usually in charge of the dinner.
That's so good.
So
yeah. So I don't know.
I love it though.
It's National Men Make Dinner Day. So men, if you usually don't make dinner, today you need to make dinner.
Okay.
Give the ladies some give them a day off from dinner.
I don't understand. I mean, these are scheduled the same day apparently because people have really, really low expectations for dudes cooking. They're like, hey, it's National Men Make Dinner Day. Also cook for your pets day because no humans should eat food from men. Is that why they
National Cook for Your Pets Day?
This is stupid.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, I will say I've ruined Rocket. Rocket Raccoon the dog will put his head on my leg during dinner at this point. He has no manners because he knows I'm going to give him something from my plate. So I technically cook for my pet every day as well.
Yeah.
He always gets something. He does.
Yeah, I'm reading about this National Cook for Your Pets Day, and they're saying, hey, consult your vet on what foods. If you're feeding your dog like human food, you need to stop it. Boil up some rice, steam up some rice. Some vegetables are okay, you know, but you can't just eat, like, feed your dog.
Yeah.
Like the typical things that you guys are cooking. You just can't do it. Bill Peterson, thoughts? Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
What? How did you?
Are you dissing my mac and cheese?
No, I'm not. I thought it was incredible.
Oh, are you saying that you can make better mac and cheese than your wife, Kay?
She's sitting next to me. She's
Huh?
like, no.
Say
I'm
no.
just saying that Steve-O and Bill are doing Thanksgiving dinner this year, and Christy and I are going to watch football.
Okay.
Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about.
Beautiful.
Lay down the
Game
law.
on, dude. Game
Yeah.
on.
That's what I'm talking
Thanks for the
about.
call. We gotta go. You're cutting out there.
I don't
Cutting
think we
out
are.
there.
We're fine.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right,
I
gotta
don't
go.
do
Okay, we'll
turkey.
see you later. Got it for the thing. Okay.
Okay.
I really don't want you to answer the second line, actually, because I'm hoping it's not.
Chrissy?
Hi.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Bring it on, Chrissy Jeter.
So what you're saying is you cook dinner every night.
Wait a second. Was that a lie?
So what you're saying is you want to cook dinner every night.
Wow. There you go. Lay it down.
I mean, let's be fair. When was the last time you cooked dinner? I gotta go.
Oh my gosh.
Show me support!
Unreal. Chrissy, can you believe this? I knew it wasn't true, Chrissy.
I didn't realize
knew it
you
wasn't
wake
true.
up so early.
Wow, just trying to make yourself look better, huh?
Wow. How long you been up for now?
Uh-huh.
So
You want to know how to work the grill. So this is the main issue.
okay, I won't teach you how to work the grill.
Chrissy, it's super easy. It's like super easy.
I don't know, man.
That's why men are in charge of it.
The
'cause
other
it's
day,
super easy.
okay. The other day, I did ask if she could start it for me, and it was like, but how? So let's be fair, Chrissy.
Just YouTube that bad boy.
My love.
You got it.
When was the last time you cooked dinner?
That's because we've been using the grill every night.
Baby, when
It's
was the last
really
time you cooked dinner?
I cooked taco bowls.
Okay.
You cook taco bowls.
Okay, Brody could cook taco bowls.
Yeah.
It's
Brody could
literally
cook
just-
steaks
it's
on the
just
grill, too.
Meat and like in a pan, and then like here's everything else. Like,
All I'm saying is that you just said that you cook dinner every night.
I mean-
And I'm totally okay with that.
Yep.
So that's the plan.
It's your job now.
Okay, all right.
It's your
cool.
job, Steve-O.
Well,
Lies.
great. It's teaching me
You would
life
like to
skills
start
for
meal
when
planning and
I'm
grocery shopping
alone.
Yep.
So,
Keto-friendly meals.
I'm sorry, honey. You're cutting out.
okay with
It's
that.
it's weird how your phone and Kay's
not
phone
really,
just really.
cutting out. It's
Woo!
not really cutting out.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Chrissy.
Have a
for
great day.
calling in to correct
Have
that.
fun meal planning today.
Oh man, so ready.
Wow.
Love you.
All
Love
right.
you
Love
so
you.
hard.
you
Oh.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
What a beautiful woman. All right? You are such a liar.
Lies. Oh, lies!
Unbelievable, man. Just unbelievable.
I mean, I'm not.
Doesn't surprise me or shock me. at all, though.
Anti-hero, man. Anti-hero.
Oh my gosh. All right, we got to take a break. Go cook for your ladies today, all right? Ladies.
It's
kick
actually
back,
we actually
relax.
have a baseball game tonight for
Okay.
Luke, so we're not going to be cooking at all.
You better milk
Nachos
plan.
and Frito pies at the field. So
All right.
easy meal prep for today.
All right, guys, let's take a quick break. Hang out with us. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Star 88 FM. We'll be right back.
Get ready for some truth from Jensen Franklin on a Star 88 PowerPoint.
When Saul of Tarsus needed a life change, God put into his life a man by the name of Ananias. Ananias was the right man in the right place at the right time. And God said, go lay your hands on that man. He's a chosen vessel. I know he doesn't look like it, but you are going to be the power relationship in his life that turns his life around. And Ananias went and laid hands on Paul, and your Bible said that the scales fell off of his eyes. All of us need somebody in our life that when they pray and talk to us, we see things right. We start seeing things in the way that we ought to see them, not just like we're stubbornly seeing them. You're blessed when God brings into your life someone who can help you see right.
That's Jensen Franklin on Star 88 with a PowerPoint.
What's going on in the news today?
We're less than a week away from the midterm elections,
and we are already seeing huge numbers when it comes to early voting.
If the midterms don't do so well for Republicans, you're all going to lose a lot of money.
A federal grand jury in Pittsburgh indicted Robert Bowers for the synagogue massacre last weekend. He faces 44 counts, including federal hate crimes. He could get the death penalty.
There is growing anger at the University of Maryland, where the Board of Regents voted to reinstate the head football coach 5 months after the death of a player after practice.
A federal prison in West Virginia remains on lockdown as the search continues for the killer of Whitey Bulger.
The suspect, a mafia hitman, Freddie Giaz.
Federal investigators in Tucson swooped in and arrested Ahmad Suhad Ahmad for showing them how to build and blow up a bomb.
One of the nation's largest electric scooter companies recently pulled thousands of scooters off the streets.
Lime says the batteries in some of its devices can catch fire.
The city of Boston is celebrating the Red Sox World Series win.
Some fans toss beer cans to the players. One can damage the World Series trophy.
Oh, you kidding me with that?
What? Only in Boston.
Okay.
Only in Boston. Was it a Sammy A?
Let's see what happened here. Yeah, they had their parade yesterday. Some of the fans kept pelting the floats with beer cans.
Oh my gosh, how?
Mookie Betts was almost hit. Alex Cora was hit. And the World Series trophy was damaged. Unreal.
Of course it was Boston. Of course it was.
Well, they're
my
excited.
gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They get excited.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yep. Not only was it.
Well, shouldn't be holding it up like that.
Gosh.
You know? Shouldn't be holding the trophy up like that. They should have a fake one when they're going to go out in public like that, you know? That stinks, man.
He was a player. Beer can from a fan. It hit the trophy and knocked off one of the pennants.
I got to be more careful with that thing. You know?
Oh my gosh, I can't watch this video again. Only in Boston.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you mix alcohol and the World Series trophy, I mean, that's what happens.
Isn't it illegal to be, like, intoxicated in the streets? I guess not when your team, like, just won a World Series.
Yeah.
They should really do something about that.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, join Friday. Gosh, man, I am dyslexic.
Hey, guys, join Friday.
Join Friday.
For Morning Invasion.
I'm just so thrown off today. It's unbelievable.
Come on, man.
I think I'm just going to go.
No.
Can Brian just do the show with you, please, today? And anyways.
Got you, buddy.
Heidi going to be out broadcasting live this Friday from 10 to 2. She'll be at the Fiat on San Mateo.
She's going to be in a Fiat.
I don't know if she'll be in a Fiat.
Yeah, okay.
But she'll be at that dealership right there in San Mateo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a drop-off location for Feed and Them Kids. So she's going to be collecting them foods. So hopefully you guys have been going out. And shout out to everybody in the Starmy that has gone out into their neighborhoods and have tried to get neighbors on board and, you know, spreading the word about Feed and Them Kids and educating people, because I think that's the biggest thing right there. It's just if we get the word out and tell people, hey, we're number one when it comes to childhood hunger, and there's like tens of thousands of kids right now that don't get 3 square meals a day.
Yeah.
I think a light bulb goes off and they're like, what? Are you kidding me? And we got to do something about it. And a lot of you are.
Okay.
So drop it off, guys. Friday. Go and hang out with Heidi. Be a lot of fun.
Be the difference.
Be the difference, yes.
Be the difference in someone's life. Yeah.
Like this 9-year-old. You know, this 9-year-old. This is pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if it's the same kid, because I feel like we do this story almost every year, or maybe it's just a different kid that gets inspired. But this 9-year-old kid collecting hundreds of pounds of leftover Halloween candy and is sending it off to the troops. This is so great, man. Vail, Colorado. Libby, 9 years old. Hates candy. You hate candy? What 9-year-old hates candy?
I mean,
Yeah, for the past 3 years, Livy has been getting people to donate their leftover Halloween candy so she can send it out to the troops. Part of a program called Treats for Troops run by the charity Soldiers Angels. Every year, they send thousands of pounds of candy to troops and veterans. And this 9-year-old, big part of that. She got involved in 2016, collected about 80 pounds of candy. Last year, she got 600 pounds. And her goal this year is at least 1,000 pounds of candy. So I don't know. We'll see if she'll hit her goal. You know what I'm saying? I think we did probably talk about this girl last year. It was pretty cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
So way to go! It's people like Libby. That's why. Do you think that's why we haven't all just killed each other? Is because there's like the sparkles out there, you know,
Sparkles?
the diamonds in the rough.
Oh,
if you will.
Aladdin.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that to inspire us, right? We need those people. It's like you always kind of hear people like, man, I lost all faith in humanity until this guy totally picked up my wallet that fell out of my pocket. I saw that happen the other day. I thought it was a pretty cool thing. This guy dropped his wallet, and this other dude grabbed it and was like, excuse me, sir, you dropped your wallet. Oh, my gosh. You know, that guy could have easily grabbed the wallet and took off, but no, he was like, dude, here, you lost your wallet, bro. Gosh. Pretty cool, man. You know, we got to look around today. We got to find those opportunities to give back and to help and to serve. What did Jesus say, Steve-O? To be the greatest in the kingdom?
Servant of all.
Mm-hmm.
Servant of all.
That's right, man.
You know what's hard about being the servant of all? That includes the people you don't like.
Oh, right?
The people that send you dumb emails.
Yep.
The people that are rude. The people who don't have the same opinions, political beliefs, ideas as you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's hard.
It is hard.
Oh, it's hard.
Well, and that's what's tough, too, is because it's, you know, should you even get involved in a conversation with people like that? Is it worth it? Is it going to do any good?
Yeah.
Especially if they're upset and they're angry. It's kind of a waste of time, right? You know? You want to be able to have a conversation with somebody without yelling. But I guess, you know, just love those people, right?
Yeah.
Love. It just all comes back to love. Good job, Libby. Big shout out to you. Doing some cool things. What are you going to do today, man?
Gonna make a change.
You going to make a change? How are you going to do that?
For once in my life.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's going to feel real good, you know?
You know what you can do?
What?
You can do the rest of the show by yourself.
Oh.
And serve me.
Wow.
I got to go.
Okay.
Can you handle this?
No.
You're fine. Yeah, you'll be fine. You're good. You know, I got stuff I got to do.
Okay.
Starving. You know, I'm dyslexic.
Guys, he's not okay
this morning.
Do you want some good news?
I just gave you good news, and it didn't do anything for me.
I know. Well, okay. Here, you know what, guys? Listen. 9-year-olds getting candy out to the troops is really, really cool. Although the first time I saw this, I actually thought it said selling candy to the troops. And I'm like, what a jerk. Sending. Much better story. There is a man who has told many stories. Those stories at times have refreshed, rejuvenated, revived, restored my dear friend Joseph Dexter Toth.
That's a pretty cool name.
This man's name is Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise revealed in an interview in an upcoming issue of Empire magazine that he has enlisted one of his best friends in the entire world, one Christopher McQuarrie.
Christopher McQuarrie?
You may know that man as the director of Mission Impossible Fallout. You see, Tom Cruise and McQuarrie, they joined forces for a film long ago called Valkyrie.
Ooh.
And since then...
Terrible movie.
When Tom Cruise was in a pinch and needed a friend, say to rewrite a script because it wasn't up to his liking, he called on him for such movies as Edge of Tomorrow, which is a sci-fi masterpiece.
That's a great movie.
He then said, hey, friend, you want to direct me and Jack Reacher in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation? Heck yeah,
bro! Oh, man, such a great movie!
Also, of course, Mission Impossible Fallout. Well, recently, Tom Cruise was on the set feeling the need for speed. And as he was on that set, he was saying, "Friend, I don't think this is up to standards of one Joseph Dexter Toth."
Ooh, really? He thought
we need it to be better.
You never close.
So he called his friend Chris and he said, "Chris, dog, listen, bro, friend, dog, pal, guy, alien guy. You want to rewrite the Top Gun sequel for me?"
Ooh, wow, man, they're already rewriting.
There are people counting on it.
They were done filming that thing.
Listen. I don't want you to get sad, but Edge of Tomorrow had extensive rewrites, and it is a masterpiece.
I mean, it's good.
Christopher McQuarrie. It doesn't bode ill for the film. Seriously. This is exactly what happened with Edge of Tomorrow. He just said, we could do better. So the outline is there, but they wanted more. So basically, they're rewriting scenes and making it better.
This is turning into like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I mean, there's still, man, it's still got a release date of June 26, 2020.
I don't know, dude. If we're gonna make it.
What is it with you?
Okay. Well.
Top Gun 2.
What is it with you, Mav?
I think it's going to be great.
Oh, it will be great. You know it will be.
John Hamm, Ed Harris, Jennifer Connelly.
Amen.
Ice Man, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, he's back. Oh.
Come on, it's going to be good.
Yeah. He lost that love and feeling, though, man. Hopefully he got it back.
Paul Short says Top Gun 2, Highway to the Retirement Home.
Yeah. Not Tom Cruise. No. That guy looks great.
He looks younger than I do.
Yeah, seriously. He looks like he's in his 40s. And no, he's not. He's in his 60s.
He's not.
Oh, yeah, he's at least 64.
What? Okay,
at
I'm looking
least.
it up. Tom Cruise. I'm going to say 53.
I think you might be right, actually. I think we looked this up the other day. And
Did we?
Oh,
he's only 56.
Okay, he's almost 60, guys. And he looks great.
Gosh, he does.
He
It's that
looks so
alien
good.
blood. That's what it is. It's that fake alien blood. Yeah. He went to space, remember? Yep. He went to space.
I don't know,
He's
man.
not real.
I think it's that HGH, man. Seriously. Like all the Hollywood stars are using it. Joe Rogan, everybody. They look so great.
Not us, man.
I feel like I need
All
to
natural.
figure this out.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's your good news. Sorry,
All
that's
right,
all I got
thank
for
you.
you.
I
I was
feel
hoping
good
that
about
would
it.
help you a little bit.
I feel great. All right.
I know you love him. I know you do.
I do. All right, let's take another quick break. You guys chime in, 505-338-3700. What's the live line to text in?
505-585-LIVE. It's 505-585-5483.
Phoenix coming up at 7. Gonna be fun, guys. Don't want to miss it. We're also live on YouTube and Facebook at Star 88 FM. We'll be right back.
Here's a real hot spot about Satan from Skip Heitzig.
Satan is persistent, and he studies our character and fashions his attacks based upon the information that he knows about each of us.
Skip challenges the idea that humans can deal with the devil.
Because if you want any kind of relationship at all with the devil, you want to make sure he's your enemy, not your friend. Your enemy. Your enemy.
Hotspot. Here's where to click for a complete library of Skip's teachings on the entire Bible at connectwithskip.com. Connectwithskip.com. Here's some solid advice from Skip about Satan.
Apply the blood of Jesus Christ to your life, to all of those accusations that come from Satan. You're not worthy. You're not good enough. You're this. You're that. Apply the blood of the Lamb.
You can listen to Skip's treasury of teachings on the go. Simply get the Skip Heitzig podcast on your mobile device.
God loves you and has a wonderful plan for your life, and Satan must operate under divine parameters.
Hotspot.
For so long I carried the weight of my past, crippled by burdens like stones on my back. I thought I had fallen too far from your grace, but you came and showed me the way. When I was lost, so searching, you were the ground beneath my feet. When I was a blind man begging, you were the eyes so I could see. When the smoke was rising up, now I'm alive and born again, rescued from the grip of sin.
Zach Williams, Survivor at Star 88,
Heck yeah,
653.
man. High today.
What?
Yeah.
What's the high?
I said 56.
Oh, you did?
Sorry.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
Hi, guys. What's going on? Doing all right? I'm not doing good.
What?
No.
Man, I don't understand. I walked the neighborhoods with children.
Maybe that's why I didn't.
No, my body hurts. I'm old, bro.
Oh my gosh.
My right shoulder's killing me because that bat was not like I
Get
had
outta
an
here.
actual bat. It was no
Oh my
plastic
gosh.
prop.
You need to
I
work
am
out.
Negan. I was just hours like this.
Guys, he was Negan.
Bat on the shoulder is just sore right here. Yeah.
It's threatening kids with baseball bats.
I mean, I didn't have to that much. I was so proud of Brody last night. It was so great walking around the neighborhood. He said, trick or treat, thank you, and happy Halloween to every
Beautiful.
person he encountered.
Using them manners, Brody.
He
Good
was
job,
using his
man.
manners.
Good
It
job.
was so sweet. He didn't even get mad at people when they kept calling him Darth Vader. He just politely corrected them. No, I'm Kylo Ren.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Happy Halloween. Bye.
Yeah.
I was like, how do people not know?
Yeah. Man, when my kids wouldn't use their manners, I would. Oh, gosh. That's the thing, man. You got to teach your kids.
Yep.
Hey, you look them in the eye and you shake their hand.
Right.
All right? Strong, firm grip. Looking them in the eye. Don't have your head down.
I like it.
If not, well, you're in big trouble.
Luke's the silent assassin. That dude's the quietest one.
Yeah.
Like, people kept calling him Spider-Man, but he was Venom. And Brody kept, correcting them for Luke.
Yeah.
He just nod. Mm-hmm.
A lot of great costumes last night, man.
That was fun.
Did you see Al Roker? He dressed up as Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And you're probably thinking to yourself, whiteface? Huh? Actually, no.
Nice.
Yeah, he went as Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future, except he didn't change the color of his skin. The point was lost on more than a few people who decided he was being hypocritical or maybe even racist after criticizing Megan's comments on blackface. But Al set the record straight by tweeting, quote, "I'm going to say this one last time, but the folks who get it understand, and the ones who don't, they won't. I can be Doc Brown, and I wear the outfit and wig and not change my skin color. If you're white, you can be President Obama if you want. Just don't color your skin." We talked about this yesterday, and it just was like some of you were listening, and some of you chose not to listen.
Right.
Hey, that's the thing, right?
Yep.
Like, they don't really listen.
No.
They just want to argue their point.
Yes.
And it's so frustrating. Did you see our boy Jeremiah Bitsui? He put somebody on blast. One of his followers posted a picture of some white guy, and he was dressed as an Indian, and he was wearing the head garment.
No, the headdress.
The headdress.
Yeah.
And he was doing a sign, and it was super disrespectful, and Jeremiah put him on blast, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because there is that line, man. There's that line you cross over where it's just super disrespectful to other cultures, you know?
Yep.
And I saw so many little white kids, Hispanic kids as Black Panther, and I'm just like, this is awesome.
I know, right?
So cool, man.
Yes.
That's the way it should be. But you know what? Al Roker, I think that's a great point, you know? It's like you can be your favorite character, but do you have to paint your face? Do you have to paint your face black? Do you have to paint your face white?
Or paint your face white, right.
You know?
Dwayne Wade,
No.
we talked about it yesterday. He went as Justin Timberlake.
Right.
And this was a few years back, but he painted his whole face white and then did a yellow goatee thing.
Right. Yep. That's it right there, guys. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting for the emails to start pouring in because some of you aren't listening out there and they're just all fired up. It's so weird to me. But I guess it's not really that weird. All right. Good costume, Al Roker. Way to go. All right. It's Thursday. Coming up, our boy Brian Nixon. He wasn't here last week. We'll see how he's doing. And we'll go back in time on this day in history. Find out what happened. You guys can chime in as well, 505-338-3700. Good morning, Facebook and YouTube Live. What's up, Samantha? How you doing? How's our YouTube people doing? Earl, Dento, Matthew, Johnny. What's up, guys? Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube. Live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios, Brian Nixon is next. Hang out.
This week on Connect with Skip Heitzig, Skip shares some glimpses into heaven from the book of Revelation.
God will wipe away every tear. There won't be Kleenex in heaven. God will get to the very root of all of the problems, and they won't exist there. No tears. It says there will be no more death. You'll never go to a funeral again. You'll never visit a cemetery.
Connect with Skip Heitzig every day this week as he continues his series, What's Next?
Make an appointment for Skip Heitzig weekdays at 8 a.m. on our sister station, KNKT 107.1 FM. KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe is Star 88.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
When you're at the end of the road and it's not the one that you would have chosen. When you're at the end of your rope and you're holding on but feel like you're falling. With every option exhausted, you tried everything you know. You saw light, then you lost it, but there is still hope. Like the fire in the night, like the ocean parted wide, like the grave empty inside. You will see he's still there. Miracles, 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 miracles. Even if you don't see it now, without a doubt, he's already moving. There's not a pain that you hold he doesn't know, and he isn't using. With every option exhausted, you try everything you know. So reach for something beyond it, 'cause he is our hope. Like the fire in the night, like the ocean parted wide, like the grave empty inside. You will see he's still there. Miracles, 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 miracles. A broken heart can be restored. A broken soul can be reborn. And greater things are still in store for us, for us. Like the fire in the night, like the ocean parted wide, like the grave empty inside. You will see he's still died. Miracles, 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 miracles. He's still miracles, he's still
Hawk Nelson, he still does miracles. It's Star 88, 702.
High today of 56 degrees.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
And Brian Nixon.
Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, guys.
So good.
So sorry I missed you last week. Last week I was under the knife. People who are watching online, they're probably noticing a little bandage on my face. I had a little basal cell taken off.
Basal cell?
Yeah, and here's the thing. When you go through this surgery, at first you're thinking, this is not a big deal. They're going to scrape a little bit. And that first part of it was fine. It's the second part when they stitch you up and your eye gets all big and starts to close. Yeah. That's the part that's not as fun.
That's just getting old, man.
That's exactly
your
right.
Your body just starts wearing down. You got to fix it. You got to get plastic surgery. You got to get those wrinkles taken care of.
That's exactly nip and tuck, guys. Nip and tuck.
There it is, man.
Hey, we have a lot of great stuff to talk about today.
I love it.
Because it's interesting, even though a lot of people see this as the darkest time, like in a year because of Halloween and such, for Christians, it actually is a very enlightening time.
I'm so glad we are doing 3 Degrees on All Saints Day. It just hit me that we're doing it on this day.
It's exactly
and I
right.
am so stoked.
Happy All Saints Day, guys.
Heck yeah, bro!
So for our listeners who may not know, All Saints Day is, first of all, yesterday was Reformation Day, so happy Reformation Day.
Yeah. Happy Reformation.
And today is Happy All Saints Day. And All Saints is the day where you remember all past Christians of times past. So you remember, those people that have influenced you, that have, really made a mark in your life.
Which one do you like?
For
Saints.
Well, see, here's the thing. Now, because we're Protestants, our definition of saints is, I think, a little more expansive than, let's say, the Roman Catholic understanding. Now, the Roman Catholic understanding, see, for Protestants, we would say any convictional born-again believer is a saint.
I could say Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, you could say Mr. Rogers. So Mr. Rogers...
He was a saint.
Exactly.
Saint Steve-O?
No, I'm not dead yet.
Yeah. So any born again Christian, convictional Christian. Now, for the Roman Catholic Church, you have to go through a process. You have to be vetted essentially to recognize that your life was above and beyond, worthy of such. But even Roman Catholic saints are there's some tremendous ones. So, people that I would remember on this day, people that I think that have really influenced me. I would have to say, more recently, someone like John Stott.
Yeah.
Who was a big influence on my thinking in life. When you go back in time, I would probably say someone like Thomas Aquinas, who just was tremendous. And he's a saint, within the Catholic Church, too.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, and Augustine and others. But happy All Saints Day, guys.
Happy All Saints Day, buddy. Happy All Saints Day.
But that's not the only thing going on today. You guys ready for this?
Talk to me.
All right. So on this day, November 1st, in 451, the Council of Chalcedon adjourns, meaning they finished up their meetings.
We know what adjourned means. We're not that stupid.
Okay, just making sure. So the Council of Chalcedon adjourned. Guys, why was the Council of Chalcedon important?
Dude, you want to start or should I?
Guys, this is very important. All Christians need to know this.
Well, duh. Okay, Chalcedon was pretty crazy, actually. They all got together because they were thinking, there's this guy who's supposed to bring balance to the Force, but he's murdering young Jedi. So we got to send out Obi-Wan to take this dude out. But what if this dude is the chosen one that the prophecies talked about? Turns out he didn't really bring balance to the Force. He became Darth Vader. Ooh. It was cray-cray.
Kids listening to the broadcast?
Are you stupid?
No, maybe.
That was wrong. That was wrong, kids. Here's what happened at the Council of Chalcedon.
Yeah.
So, the church was really coming to grips with the teachings of the Bible. Mm-hmm. What does the Bible really teach? And they had these different councils, these large meetings where they invited pastors from across, the Middle East and Europe. And they all got together and they basically said, what is it that the Bible is teaching? And the Council of Chalcedon, one of its main, it really discussed a lot of issues, but one of its main issues was a Christological statement concerning Christ's two natures.
Right.
So
easy.
At the same, during the Middle Ages, not Middle Ages, but during this time in the early Middle Ages, there were a lot of heresies, a lot of false teachings going on. So they came together and said, we have to really talk about Christ and his two natures. So it was at the Council of Chalcedon that they drew up their statement concerning Christ's two nature, that he was 100% God and 100% man. That's exactly right. So, though the Bible teaches that, they really formalized it at this council. So that's one of the major reasons why this day is important.
Okay.
That's 451. Then 835, we already addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
Pope Gregory VI made All Saints' Day compulsory. That, hey guys, we need to recognize those Christians that went before us and we're thankful for. You know? So
I like it.
On this day in 835.
And do you know how many people still celebrate it today? 9.
Yeah.
So
9. Not very many.
I mentioned it on my Insta story first thing this morning, All Saints Day.
Yep.
So
All Saints Day. And I think, as Christians, we Reformation Day, particularly yesterday as Protestants, we should go Reformation Day is important.
Yeah.
But we should all say All Saints Day because it is a time to remember the Christians who've walked before us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on this day in on this day in 1210, this is not a happy one, so you may want to take out the happy music.
All right, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, it's not a happy one, and it's kind of reflective of things that we're still dealing with to this day.
Go on.
On this day, in 1210, King John of England began imprisoning our Jewish friends.
Jewish friends.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
That's horrible.
1210?
It is. Yeah, 1210.
Why did he imprison?
Because there was an anti-Semitic strain that runs through Europe, as we know. Not only in Germany, where of course Hitler came to power, but there is an anti-Semitic strain that has run through many cultures. The Jewish people have been blamed for a lot of things, sadly, and unwittingly.
Well, it's the epicenter. Israel's the epicenter.
That's right.
Where the Jews live.
So why
Jesus Jewish?
Yeah,
yes,
dude.
yes, he is.
They crucified him.
Yes, he is.
But the Jews were the ones that crucified him technically.
Yeah, kind of crazy, right?
The Romans technically crucified Jesus.
They just
we're not splitting hairs here, but they allowed the religious leaders.
And it wasn't every
to
Jew,
kind
okay?
of,
It wasn't
like,
every Jew. You can't just
they
say
were
they
like
all
hand in
wanted.
hand. It was like the two mafiosos came together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So, isn't that crazy that this anti-Semitic, and of course we're dealing with it here in the United States with this recent shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Isn't that crazy?
The anti-Semitic verbiage and mindset is absolutely unbelievable. And of course, as Christians, hate should never be part of our vocabulary.
Amen. Right.
We should always be a people who love and show peace and mercy and compassion, even when we disagree. So,
Negan.
On this day, here's another important thing, guys. There's a lot of interesting church history stuff on this day.
Yeah.
On this day in 512, this famous artist Michelangelo opened up what?
The Teenage
new
Mutant
art
Ninja Turtles.
studio.
The Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, that's a beautiful art
Yeah.
studio.
So on this day, guys, if you were living in Italy,
I've been
in
there.
1512,
Best pizza, Michelangelo. Best Ninja Turtle. Loves pizza. Cowabunga, dude.
But you would have been able to attend Michelangelo's opening exhibit of the Sistine Chapel on this day.
Have you been there?
No.
I have.
No. I've seen pictures.
Dude, it's so unbelievable. It's
It
one
is.
of those things like if you watch it on TV or whatever, it's like you see it in person.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It would probably be like the first time I saw Van Gogh in person. Not him, the man, but some of his art. It was in Chicago. And I was almost like awestruck, and I just had to sit down and stare at it. It was a profound moment, and I'm sure this would be that much more profound to see the Sistine Chapel.
Love it.
Amazing. Okay, another sad one. On this day in 1755, one of the largest earthquakes in history hit Lisbon, Portugal. How many people do you think it killed?
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say 150,000.
3 million.
Not 3 million, 50,000.
Oh, wow.
But so Dex was closer.
I mean,
Yeah, but still, think about that. 50,000 people,
Right?
killed in
What
one
year?
earthquake. 1755.
Wow, there was only like 1 million people in the world at that time too. So.
Yeah, right. So for all our Portuguese friends, our heart goes out to you this day. And here's some cool good news. 1776. So the year the eastern United States was founded by England, the western portion, which is where we live, was started to be colonized by Spain. And the Spanish priests founded the San Juan Capistrano mission on this day.
Wow.
Have you guys ever been to the San Juan Capistrano mission?
Why do I think of a sandwich when you say Capistrano? I want a sandwich for some reason.
I don't know.
I don't know why.
I don't know. But
because it sounds like pastrami.
Pastrami, yeah, the Capistrami.
Can I just say, I don't miss a lot about California, but I do miss the missions. The missions were some of my favorite things in California. The California missions are just beautiful.
Yeah.
And the history is so marvelous. And San Juan Capistrano is truly one of the more beautifully set missions. I mean, it's right there by the ocean.
I'll have the California Capistrano sandwich,
I love
please.
it.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
That was 1776. 1800, guys. This president was the first to move into the White House.
What year did you say?
1800.
1800 would
Who's
have
the
been...
first president to move to the White House?
That would have been Abe Lincoln.
No, dude, that
Yeah.
was way before Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, I don't think so.
John Adams.
That's exactly right.
Wow, dude.
John Adams. Steve
Whoa.
Jeter knows his presidents. John Adams
I
was
can't act like an idiot the whole time.
John Adams was the first president to move into the White House. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Okay, you guys ready?
Give us one more.
No.
Gotta take a break.
Okay, last one, and then we'll talk about it. The first, on this day in 1834, the first recorded mention of the card game poker.
Ooh.
What kind of game was it, guys?
A game of skill.
No,
Texas Hold'em.
Nope.
Yes,
the-
it was.
No,
Game
but,
of chance.
No, but
I got the audio. You
No,
got
no.
know when to hold 'em. First recorded audio.
no, it was
Kenny Rogers.
It was a Mississippi riverboat game.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. So we have a lot more, guys, of
Good.
events coming up. We're just in 1834 now.
This
We're
is
going to jump to
crazy.
1935
Just
when we come back.
Scratching the surface. It's 3
Yes.
degrees. Brian Nixon, everybody, you guys chime in. Of course, we love when you chime in. Star
Heck
Me.
yeah.
Facebook, YouTube Live at Star 88 FM. We'll be right back. Hang on.
If you knew the future, would it change your life? Well, check this. Prophecy is an open book.
Every tomorrow has two handles, the handle of faith and the handle of anxiety. Too many of you are grabbing onto the handle of anxiety. Prophecy will move you to grab the handle of faith as you realize I serve a God and hopefully I trust a God who knows the end from the beginning.
Skip Heitzig says, do not miss the fulfillment you can find in the book of Revelation.
The real joy that you will experience is when you decide to keep it. And how do you keep the book of Revelation? By living in the light of eternity. That's how.
Hotspot. Hey, at connectwithskip.com, you will find a treasure of messages from Skip with an amazing interface to search topics in Scripture. Now this straight question from Skip.
What's next for you? Perhaps the next step for you, the best step for you, is that you would embrace what you have placed at arm's length for so long, and that is a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Hotspot.
Tony Evans. This is a Star 88 Supernova.
After you get married, for a lot of different reasons, it's easy to drift apart because you've got this agenda, they've got that agenda, the kids, and it's easy to drift apart so that there is no drawing near. And if there is no drawing near, you look up one day and the relationship is weak and fragile and in trouble. Drawing near with God is like drawing near with a mate. It must be intentionality attached to it. It won't happen by luck. So let me ask you couples of questions. What is your year-end plan for drawing nearer to one another next year? You say, well, we don't have a plan. And guess what? You won't draw near. Because drawing near must be purposeful.
That was Pastor Tony Evans on a Star 88 Supernova.
Make it count, leave a mark, build a name for yourself. Dream your dreams, chase your heart above all else. Make a name the world remembers. But all an empty world can sell is empty dreams. I got lost in the lie that it was up to me to make a name the world remembers. But Jesus is the only name to remember. And I don't wanna leave a legacy. I don't care if they remember me. Only Jesus. And I
Jesus.
Casting Crowns, Only Jesus, Star 88, 720.
Hi, today at 56 degrees.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
That's us. Good morning, everybody. Brian Nixon hanging out with us. 3 degrees.
Hey, guys. You know, I must say that last song, wasn't that kind of like a copy of that one? If I lay here, won't you lay here? And
it's called Snow Patrol.
Snow Patrol.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good call, man.
Snow Patrol.
Good call.
So they were copying the Irish group Snow Patrol. All right, here we go.
Anymore, guys.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Last time we met, which was just a few minutes ago, we talked about the first recorded mention of poker.
Yep.
And on this day in 1935, here's an interesting thing. Murder
Gaga,
in the
Poker
Cathedral premieres in London. Who wrote the play Murder in Cathedral?
Ice-T.
One of the most famous
Agatha Christie.
One of the most famous American British poets.
Oh, dude. Duh.
Christian guy.
Christian guy.
Roman?
Not Agatha Christie.
No. I'll give you a hint. He wrote the famous poem, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prudhoe.
Oh, dude. Sir Alfred Pennyworth.
No, he also wrote The Wasteland.
Frederick?
The Gift of the Magi.
Doug? Lawrence?
Oh, my goodness, guys.
T.S. Eliot.
T.S. Eliot. Thank you, Steve-O.
No. Thank you, Chris Elmore on Facebook.
Thank you, Chris Elmore. So, T.S. Eliot, known for all of his great poems, but then he started to write plays, and one of the first plays he wrote, wasn't his first, but one of, I think is his second, is Murder in the Cathedral. And it's about the murder of Thomas Becket in 1170 in Canterbury Cathedral. He was speaking up against the King of England. King of England was doing some not nice things. They were really good friends. As younger men, one became a king, one became archbishop. But then Thomas Becket had to basically chastise his friend, and his friend had him killed in the church.
Would you have me killed, bro, if I chastised you?
Yeah, I probably would.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I wouldn't hold back.
You can't kill me. I am Negan.
Can I say something, guys?
What?
I graduated at Canterbury Christ Church University.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, I graduated at the university, and then for Evensong, we went over to the cathedral, and it was kind of surreal because you're sitting in this historic Christian place, and you just walk over there, and you go, on this spot, Thomas Becket was killed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's just crazy.
Not cool, but cool.
Okay, so there was a famous movie. That was made off this called
House on Haunted Hill.
Becket, and it was Peter O'Toole. And so this is a big big deal, guys. So Peter, as a matter of fact, Becket won the Academy Award, fellas.
Wow.
Just so you know. All right, here's another sad thing. 1937. Stalin begins executing Christians.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Including
what a terrible
the
day.
Lutheran pastor Paul Hamburg. So Stalin started to execute Christians. So many Christians lost their life under the communist regime under Stalin. And so the fact that today is All Saints' Day, we could remember Paul Hamburg on this day.
Wow.
Okay, 2 more events, and then we got a couple birthdays, and then we're moving on to other good stuff. You ready?
Ready.
On this day in 1941, this famous American photographer shoots one of his most famous, iconic images, moonrise over Hernandez, New Mexico. Who is the photographer? Who?
Ansel Adams.
That's exactly right.
Wow, man.
I was trying so hard to keep it in.
Ansel Adams on this day
You really
shoots
thought I'd know that?
his famous photograph, Moonrise over Hernandez, New Mexico.
I know some things.
Yeah.
You know so much,
I did
bro.
my undergraduate history paper on this photograph.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Last one. On this day in 1946, Carol Wojtyla is...
What'd you say, homeboy?
It's the girlfriend on Walking Dead.
No.
Carol.
Carol
Yeah.
Wojtyla is ordained. Who is Carol?
I just said it. Dang it. Spoiler alert.
No.
Gosh.
No.
Carol Wojtyla?
Yeah, she was ordained because in order to marry King Ezekiel.
Other people would say Vujela. A lot of people say his name differently.
Who is that? His name's Carol.
Guys, he's one of the most famous people.
Painters in the world.
No, one of the most famous people in the world.
Yeah, because he's a dude named Carol.
They just made him a saint.
Oh,
Yeah.
Saint
Carol of
the Cadbury egg.
Guys, his name as Pope John Paul II.
Oh my gosh!
That
No
was his.
wonder he changed his name to John Paul.
That was his Polish name. And what many people don't realize.
Oh man.
Okay, what people don't realize is that they realize that he was shot and he was a nice man.
He was shot?
Yeah, Pope John Paul II, bro.
Dude. You think I really have any Pope knowledge?
You were alive when all this was happening, bro.
When Pope John Paul II was shot?
Yeah, that's why they invented the Pope Mobile.
Chill out,
It's
Olaf.
true.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Pipe down, Olaf.
Okay.
Did you know any of this?
Okay, here's a couple facts about.
Just say what you mean.
Here's some facts about Carroll. First of all, he was a very intelligent man. He was what we'd call in philosophy a personalist. He was a Thomistic personalist, which I think a lot of us, when we really think about it and study our philosophy, we'd say, "Hey, I'm a Thomistic personalist."
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. But here's another cool thing. He was a poet. And so I brought one of his poems for Steve-O to read.
Beautiful.
There
I
it
love
is, Steve-O.
poetry.
At the top. At the top. You have 2 poems to read today, but the first one's first.
Carol with a K.
Yeah. Here we go.
The Pope wrote this, guys.
Yep.
The Pope. It's called Girl Disappointed in Love. Maybe based on a true story.
Could be.
Girl was in love with this dude.
He was
Dude's
a
in
priest. He
love with
couldn't
Jesus.
fall in love.
He can't.
I mean, he could fall in love, but he couldn't marry her.
He took this oath that they take when they're popes. You know what I'm saying?
Just read the letter, bro.
Okay. I feel the pain from this man. It's hard when you find someone and fall in love and then realize
You reading the letter?
you're the Pope.
This is a poem.
Or a poem?
I know
You
this.
reading this?
I need Pope music.
You know what, dude? Come on, bro.
Can I
Lay
just
it on
have-
us, bro. I gotta go to
I
break
need like
again.
I need like the monk like
Gregorian chants? That's called
that stuff.
Gregorian chants.
Whatevs.
Yeah, that's Gregorian
Pope
chants.
stuff.
You know what? You
Can
get
I
this
please-
now. You get this now. This is what you get. Go ahead now. Now
Hey,
you-
everybody, all right.
Mercury. I'm not doing it like this.
Then go. You know what? Just go back. to
With
it.
mercury, we measure pain.
Yes.
As we measure the heat of bodies and air. What a naughty Pope. But this is not how to discover our limits. You think you're the center of things. If you could only grasp that you are not. The center is he. Capital H, girl. And he, too, finds no love. Why don't you see? The human heart, what is it for? Cosmic temperature, heart, mercury. Yeah, I mean, he didn't rhyme well, but...
You don't rhyme with modernist poems, guys.
Oh, I mean...
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
just, okay.
Cool
whatever.
story.
He's no Shel Silverstein, you know?
Isn't that cool, though, that the
That's
Pope was
pretty cool.
he was a known poet? Isn't
That's
it? A lot of people don't know that about John Paul II, known poet.
All right. Well, we got to take another break. We want to remind you, though, we love letters. Please type us or write us a handwritten letter. And guess what? We'll type a letter back to you. Brian, tell everybody how they can do it.
You could write us at 4001 Osuna Road Northeast, Albuquerque 87109. That's 4001 Osuna Road Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico 87109. And we do type back
Yes, we do.
on a mid-century modern 1960s
So beautiful. Oh,
Smith Corona Electra 120 typewriter.
oh, so
Yes,
great.
we do.
All right, we got to take another quick break. It's 3 Degrees with Brian Nixon, live from the Dream Style Remodeling Star 88 Studios.
Judah Smith seeks to define the purpose and meaning in life. He says life is to trust God in every moment.
Have you met that Jesus that readjusts your whole priorities of the earth experience? Home, no home, he's my home. I'm most home. The safest place in the universe is right next to Jesus. When my family forsakes me or when my family has gone on before me, he puts me in a spiritual family. And he is my heavenly Father. Friends, he's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Who is Jesus? He's everything to me. He's the most important person to me. But so much of our existence oriented around home and family and friends. Meanwhile, Jesus is saying, orient your life around me.
Trust God in every moment. That's Judah Smith with a Star 88 PowerPoint.
What's going on in the news today?
We're less than a week away from the midterm elections.
And we are already seeing huge numbers when it comes to early voting.
If the midterms don't do so well for Republicans, you're all going to lose a lot of money.
A federal grand jury in Pittsburgh indicted Robert Bowers for the synagogue massacre last weekend. He faces 44 counts, including federal hate crimes. He could get the death penalty.
There is growing anger at the University of Maryland, where the Board of Regents voted to reinstate the head football coach 5 months after the death of a player after practice.
A federal prison in West Virginia remains on lockdown as the search continues for the killer of Whitey Bulger.
The suspect, a mafia hitman, Freddie Giaz.
Federal investigators in Tucson swooped in and arrested Ahmad Suhad Ahmad for showing them how to build and blow up a bomb.
One of the nation's largest electric scooter companies recently pulled thousands of scooters off the streets.
Lime says the batteries in some of its devices can catch fire.
The city of Boston is celebrating the Red Sox World Series win.
Some fans toss beer cans to the players. One can damage the World Series trophy.
Unbelievable, man. I still can't believe that. Watching that video.
It's believable, sister.
I saw it. I saw
it's
it.
Believable.
People just out of control.
People do crazy things. Crazy things.
How you like them apples?
It is 3 Degrees with Brian Nixon. And, of course, you guys can chime in, be a part of the show. Thank you so much, everybody, on Facebook and YouTube. It's Star 88 FM. And, of course, we can get to some phone calls here in a little bit if you'd like to call in at 505-338-3700. And the live line to text in, what is that number, Steve?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
Brian?
Well, guys, we on our 3 Degrees, we started in 451, Council of Chalcedon, and then we went to 1946, the day that Karol Wojtyla was ordained. Of course, he's Pope John Paul II,
So much
who was
easier
a
to
poet.
say.
And Steve-O read one of his poems. So we just have a couple of birthdays to celebrate on this day, November 1st. This day in 1871, this famous author of The Red Badge of Courage was born. Who wrote The Red Badge of Courage, guys?
Steve-O, you know this.
Duh.
He has your name.
Steven?
My name?
Stephen.
Oh, he threw me way off.
Stephen Curry.
Crane.
Crayon.
Stephen Crane was born on this day in 1971. Red Badge of Courage, guys, one of the great American novels.
I was thinking of the one with the wolf. What was that?
That's
one
Jack
called?
London.
Yeah, that guy.
Different guy. On this day in 1935, Charles Koch, or Koch, a lot of people would like to say, was born. He's the guy that supports all the Republican candidates around the country. But on this day in 1957, guys, a Texas original, singer-songwriter, married. A lot of people were saying it was Beauty and the Beast, but Lyle Lovett was born on this day. And his song, If I Had a Boat, is one of the great songs of this Texas. Listen to this song.
And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my
I wish I had
boat.
hair like that.
And we could all together
Why does he look like Beavis?
Well, yeah, you have to understand, Lyle Lovett was a lot younger there.
Was he butthead?
But you know, what our listening eyes can't see is they can't see what we're watching, which is the video of If I Had a Boat. And he has this huge pouffant hair.
Oh,
and he's not
beautiful.
necessarily the best looking guy, but he's a unique looking
He's
guy.
very unique, right?
But you know,
It's
a
not
lot of
about
people, when he married Julia Roberts, everyone was going,
right. I remember that.
what in the world happened?
I remember that. I was freaking out. Everybody was talking
I
about
was
it.
like,
Like,
so
oh my
you're
gosh.
telling me I have a chance with
exactly.
the hot
Every
girl.
ugly man out there was just like, yes.
Yeah, but he is a great singer-songwriter.
Beautiful.
I saw Lyle Lovett in concert, and he put on a great concert as well. So happy birthday, Lyle Lovett. Okay, who else was born on this day, guys? You could keep the Lyle Lovett going on in the background.
Keep it going, you know.
You know,
I mean, if it's never mind.
Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, was born on this day in 1960. And now we have to talk about two deaths.
Yes.
One, because he's important. You know, we mentioned T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral.
Phoenix, everyone's important in the eyes of Jesus.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's right.
Well,
Amen.
this poet was a modernist poet. Now, here's the reality. I have a love-hate relationship with this guy.
Wow. He's
bro.
dead, so
I love that he encouraged some of the great American authors and writers. So this fella's named Ezra Pound. and he was a modernist poet. And he is the fellow that encouraged T.S. Eliot to write. He encouraged Ernest Hemingway, Robert Frost, and even James Joyce, the Irish writer. He was like this catalyst. So on one side, you had Ezra Pound, who was doing all this amazing encouragement. On the other side, guys, get this. He was an anti-Semitic. He left, he left America, moved to England, couldn't stand England, so moved to Italy and supported Mussolini in his attacks on Jews.
Wow.
Yeah. He just was one of those guys like,
Jeez,
really? So it's his birthday, and he was a poet, and a lot of people consider his cantos poems the best. But because his life, I don't get into that whole anti-Semitic thing. But,
Yeah, that's good.
But
Nobody
Steve-O,
should.
I brought his shortest poem.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to read it.
His shortest
poem. So here's Ezra Pound's shortest poem. Go ahead.
The apparition of these faces in the crowd on a wet black bow.
You forgot to name the poem.
Oh, in a station of the metro by Ezra Pound. Is it bow?
Yeah, you got it. You did good. Read it again now. Start with the title.
I already. In a station of the metro by Ezra Pound. The apparition of these faces in the crowd. Petals on a wet black bough.
There it is.
Wow, I just want to punch you so bad.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. He got paid for that, guys.
Wow.
He was like, yeah, dude, super poet.
Jeez.
There it is.
Such
there
a
it is.
poet, bro. Check these words
That would
out.
be more like a haiku, of
such
course.
a poet.
Do you think he was in a rush when he wrote that?
A poet
you know?
so hard.
Okay, here we go. Who said that? Ready?
Ooh, who said that?
Sometimes the most profound of awakenings come wrapped in the quietest of moments.
Lyle Lovett.
The Pope.
No, Stephen Crane,
Duh.
author of Red Badge of Courage. Ready? Here we go. Where is all the knowledge we lost with information?
Tim Cook.
Carol.
No, T.S.
Carol.
Eliot.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that a good quote, though? Where's all the knowledge we lost with information? We're full of information.
Where have all the cowboys gone?
Yep. Okay, here's a great one. There is no greater harm than the waste of time.
Lyle Lovett.
No.
Tim Cook.
Michelangelo.
Darn it.
Man, you didn't even let me guess.
Oh, sorry, Steve. Okay, this one's for you.
Okay.
A person's rightful due is to be treated as an object of love, not as an object for use.
Pope Francis.
You're close, but it's not Pope Francis.
Pope John Paul II.
That's right, Steve-O. Pope John Paul II.
Also known as Carol with a K.
That's exactly right.
He coined the band Korn.
And our last one of who said that? Good writers are those who keep the language
Lyle Lovett.
efficient. That is to say, keep it accurate, keep it clear.
Lyle Lovett.
Why did he say to keep it efficient and then kept talking?
Guys, who's the writer we just talked about?
Lyle Lovett.
No, dude, the guy that was a jerk.
short
and did
Ezra
haiku.
Pound.
I don't even like saying his name. That's why.
Ezra Pound.
Totally remembered his name though.
You guys did fairly well.
We did terrible.
Okay.
Don't sugarcoat
All
it.
right. You're right. You're right. I just wanted to be, positive for
Well,
you guys.
I got a lot of buttons I'm pushing over.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a couple of, things to community announcements.
Let's do
No,
it.
okay, do that.
Can we talk about these community announcements?
I wish you would.
Because, Dex, we're always talking that how much we appreciate people who type or handwrite a letter.
We do. We love it. We love
So,
it.
if you're going to write us a letter, which we thoroughly encourage, you have to write to 4001
That's right.
Osuna Road, Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87109. And we will type back to you on a 1960s Smith Corona Electra 120. The same typewriter that people like Truman Capote typed on.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Bill Ryer.
But for those people who love typewriters, at Penny Smith Papers, right by Flying Star there, off Rio Grande, they're doing their 4th annual Type Out this Sunday.
Are you going to be a part of it?
Oh, yeah. Anyone can. So, you show up, and they have all these typewriters out, and some people will be making typewriter art, some people will be typing poems, and you just go and you participate, you type a few things out, and you encourage people who love typewriters.
That's cool. So do they have like competitions, like who can do the most words in a minute?
Well, because I go after church, and when I went there last year, they didn't have competitions when I was there, but that does not say they don't have competitions.
Okay.
So you need to go out to Penny Smith Papers and participate with the 4th annual Type Out here in Albuquerque and support typewriters, because there is a whole sphere of people who love typewriters.
Look what I just pulled up, a 1960 Smith & Corona.
There it is. Look at that's what you guys kind of type on.
It's a beautiful, beautiful typewriter. It flows real nice.
Yeah, and that's why we like letters from listeners, because we like to type. And Steve-O and Dex, folks, actually type.
I'm actually typing a letter right now.
They're typing to the people.
Steve-O is sorry he dressed up. Hold on.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
As Negan.
Not even a little bit.
For
I am
Halloween.
Negan. I am Negan.
And he will never. Hold on. Wait a second here. All right. He will never do it again.
That's also not true. I'm lazy. I'll probably do that for every year now.
Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. All right. I'll finish this later.
Yep. 4001 Osuna Road Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87109. Type us a letter. Find a typewriter. Go. Even better yet, here's the challenge.
Challenge us.
Go to the 4th annual Albuquerque Type Out at Penny Smith Paper off Rio Grande. Sit down on one of those typewriters and type us a letter. Mail it to us. And you're going to get something more than the sticker we send. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, if you could prove. Okay, here's the challenge for our listeners.
All right.
If they could prove that they went and typed the letter, so they have to get pictures of them typing it on that, won't we give them a shirt or something like that, guys?
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we got stuff.
We got stuff we could give them. Because normally when people type, we give them a sticker. What? But we could give them something more than the sticker. If they could prove they went, and I think it's from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 on this Sunday. You have to go there, sit down, type a letter on one of their typewriters, get a picture, and then you could either mail it or hand deliver it. And if you hand deliver it, we'll give you some gifts, won't we, guys?
Yep. Beautiful.
There it is. That's your challenge. That's our listener challenge.
All right, good.
Show me support!
All right, we will. We'll be there. All right, let's take another quick break, Brian.
Yep, and then we got another community announcement.
Oh, good. We also have a little community listener who's chiming in, wants to talk about his experience last night trick-or-treating in the Albuquerque community.
Nice, let's do it.
His name is Brody Parker.
Oh.
Awesome.
Good. All right, live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. It's 3 Degrees with Brian Nixon. We'll be right back.
This is a fresh thought. Listen up to Levi Lusko.
Under the sun, if you're going to live that way, vanity of vanities. Vanity, vanity is the conclusion to a life with no God. There is no meaning. You're like, wait, vanity? You mean this person takes a lot of selfies and can't walk by a mirror without grooming and probably thinks this song is about them? No, that's how we use the word vain. That's not how this culture used the word vain. The word vanity is best translated emptiness, nothing, or no meaning, or meaningless. One person said the easiest way to understand the actual word itself is whatever's left after a soap bubble pops. What's left, the grimy residue that's left after a soap bubble pops. Thanks a lot, Solomon. Right, that's why I came to church.
For more fresh thoughts, go to LeviLusko.com.
It's so unusual, it's frightening. You see right through the mess inside me. And you call me out to pull me in. You tell me I can start again. And I don't need to keep on hiding. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. It's so like you to keep pursuing. It's so like me to go astray. Ooh, but you guard my heart with your truth, the kind of love that's bulletproof. And I surrender to your kindness. Oh, I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? Now I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no, you won't let go, no matter what I do. It's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. It's so unusual, it's frightening. I'm fully known and loved by you.
Torrin Wells, known, Star 88. 747.
High today of 56 degrees.
The Morning Invasion.
My mind is blown, guys.
Typewriter orchestras, guys.
There are actual orchestras where people play typewriters.
Yep. And this is one where they're all participating, like a whole row of typewriters.
Yeah.
Sometimes typewriters are actually in a string orchestra and doing the rhythm sections. Typewriters are more than just writing instruments,
I had
guys.
no idea, Brian.
Oh, they're big news. Typewriters are like, a lot of people are into typewriters these days. And all we're asking is for people to write us a letter. And we sent out our typewriter challenge. They have to what? What do they have to do, Steve-O?
Type us a letter, 4000 Run, Osuna Road Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87109 if you'd like to type us a letter.
But that's if you just want to get a sticker. If you want to get something more than a sticker, you have to go to the Penny Smith on Rio Grande this Sunday afternoon. Type us a letter from one of their typewriters, and you get more than just a sticker.
More, guys, more!
Oh, yeah.
Man, you guys need to type in Typewriter Orchestra on YouTube.
This is so weird to me.
So great, guys.
No.
That's a real typewriter as part
I'm
of
gonna
an
subscribe
orchestra.
to this channel right now. I'm going to subscribe.
Isn't that cool?
Pretty cool, man.
Because we'll type you back. But guys, that's not the only community event we have going on. You know, the art in the Abbey. A lot of people don't realize that the Norbertine Abbey down in the South Valley puts on yearly art exhibits.
Nice.
And they have one that's opening up here in a couple of weeks. And fellas, I'm proud to say that they asked me to submit 6 watercolors.
No way.
Of these avant-garde icons. And their committee, got them. So I'll have 6 of my little watercolors.
That's so cool,
as part
man.
of this new exhibit.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen any of your work.
Well, it's maybe better that way.
If I Google Brian Nixon art,
Now you just have to go to this Art in the Abbey thing and you can see all, a bunch
our
of
art in the Abbey. Yeah, 6 of them. Now these are a little different. They're a little more geometric stuff. It's Brian. You're not going to find any art. I don't think so. But there is actually another Brian Nixon who is an artist. He lives in Texas or Oklahoma or something of that nature.
Beautiful.
But so make sure you support your local artists,
look at
fellas.
this guy right there.
Make sure you support your local
Is that
artists.
your art in the background there?
No, that's a Robert Rauschenberg. That's an article I wrote on museums.
You look
and
like you're
art.
30 years old there.
I probably was. I've been writing articles for some time, guys.
Wow,
You know.
look at this handsome guy.
Yeah.
Good looking
So,
dude.
anyway, Art in the Abbey at the Norbertine Abbey, but now we've got more important stuff. We're going to talk about people's experiences with their Halloween, and we're going to go to Brody. Brody's going to tell us what went down last night here in Albuquerque.
I mean, if I dialed the number correctly.
Brody, are you on the phone?
Pretty sure
Oh,
no.
here he is.
Pretty sure I know how to dial it. The telephone.
Hi, we're on Bluetooth, so I don't know how good it's going to sound.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Wait up.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Bubba.
Sounds great.
How's it going? Oh, man, this is terrible audio,
man.
Chrissy.
You sound
Hold
great.
on. I didn't know you were calling this early. Hold on
Well,
a
you
second.
said 10 minutes, and so we
Hold
did.
on, hold on.
So I'm just going to go ahead and
You're ruining our bit, Chrissy.
really ruin it. Ruin it?
Hello, I'm not doing it.
Hey, Bubba. How's it going?
Good.
Good? We have B-Nix in studio hanging out with us right
Hey, Brody,
now.
what's going on, man?
Hi.
So I hear you had a really good time trick-or-treating last night because I was there, but the Starmie was not. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Yeah, it was good. And everybody kind of called me a little bit of Darth Vader, but I was actually Kylo Ren.
Yep. Everybody kept calling him Darth Vader. And he was very kind about it.
Good.
When people would say, hey, are you Darth Vader? What would you say?
I would say I was Kylo Ren.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good,
Yeah.
man. That's, you're very polite. Good
And then
job.
his brother Luke went as Venom, but people kept thinking he was somebody else too.
Who did they think Luke was?
Spider-Man, but he was actually Venom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you get Venom and Spider-Man mixed up?
Yeah, one's red, one's black.
I mean, ask Brody. I don't know. Why do you think they got him confused?
Because no one has seen the movie, a little bit of people have, a little bit of people haven't.
Okay,
that's
so
true.
obviously
Brody,
a little
so
bit of
true.
people have not seen
I
the
have
Venom
not
movie.
seen Venom. You're right,
Yep.
and so
Yeah.
I
It's
probably wouldn't have known.
Because there's
Yeah.
the Spider-Man like logo.
Logo.
and
It's
then
got
it's
the
like,
Spider-Man logo.
But he's black.
I mean, it makes sense, but you were really nice to those people still, right?
Yeah.
What
job.
did you say at every single house when they gave you candy?
Trick or treat.
And then what?
Thank you. Have a happy Halloween.
Oh, that is so cute.
Brody,
It was
you're such a good guy.
Beautiful.
I'm
Good
glad you
job.
take after your mother.
Right? I've been saying that for
I
years.
mean, it's so good.
Yep.
He's a really
I mean,
good
Chrissy has
Yeah.
raised you well.
So, and
Who wasn't saying it?
who wasn't saying it?
Venom Luke.
Venom Luke.
Yeah, Venom
Venom
Luke.
Luke didn't actually say anything last night because I think you kind of spoke for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we also carved pumpkins. Brody had a pumpkin that he carved.
Those are great looking pumpkins, by the way, Brody.
Yeah. What pumpkin did
I
you?
did.
Go ahead.
I did slowly.
Yeah, he did Sully from Monsters Inc.
That was yours?
That was
was
his.
so good. That
Yeah,
was my
from-
favorite one.
I know. That was a really good one. That
That was
Brody's.
good.
So, what was your favorite parts of Halloween last night?
Going trick or treating.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I got a roll up.
Uh-huh. That's
You
cool.
roll them, and then you get to eat them, and they're like these long rings.
Wait,
Yeah,
what are they?
yeah, I get
Is that a
it.
candy?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a roll up.
It's a roll-up,
Oh,
It's
dude.
a roll up.
Okay.
Steve-O.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dude.
Like a fruit roll-up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you eat a fruit roll-up?
You, suck, like, eat it.
Oh.
You suck eat it?
You suck eat it. You don't wrap it around your finger?
Which food do you like? No.
Oh, see, I haven't taught you yet. Because when I was a kid, I would get a fruit roll-up, and I would always wrap it around my finger.
Yeah.
And then I would bite it down, except you get like halfway, and then you end up biting your finger.
Brody, here's something I encourage you to do. Hide your candy because your dad's waking up before you
Yep,
do,
that's
and
true.
he's raiding your candy bag.
Yep.
So you want to make sure that all your candy is yours because dad obviously has been taking your candy.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I know a secret place.
Oh, good. Oh.
You got a
knows
secret
the
place.
secret.
Don't say it on air, Brody. You
Yeah.
keep that secret place between you
I don't
and
know.
yourself.
I think you probably should tell your parents
Hey,
about
to be
this.
fair, what?
I'm going to dump all my candy out and hide it in a place.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So that I can't get it?
Under
So,
the
so Dad
floorboard
can't
or-
get it.
In the morning.
In the morning. I mean, but he's really good at
Oh,
sharing.
If I remember where they are in the morning, I can grab them, put them back in,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I can do it.
He counted all his candy last night. How many pieces of candy did you get?
82.
82 pieces
Wow.
of candy. But he only has 81 now because he let me have an almond joy.
Oh,
Brody.
that's so nice of you.
Yeah.
That's too nice of you.
I don't
He's
think your
the
dad
best
deserves
kid.
that. What?
71 or 72 or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Luke
Hmm.
had way less. Yeah.
All
Luke had
right.
less because Brody was 5. So
Well,
Brody
Brody,
kept giving him extra candy.
I still have more.
Yeah. What was the best costume you saw last night? Was it Negan?
Actually, it was Venom and Negan.
Yeah. Negan was pretty good. But Negan's kind of a bad guy, right? We don't watch that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
He's
yeah.
never seen that show, guys.
All right.
Ever.
Well,
So
we gotta
He doesn't
go,
even know what
Brody.
show that's from, right? You don't even know. Where's Negan
Brody,
from? Do you
thanks
even
for
know?
thanks for
Thank you.
joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, guys, can I make a confession?
He's the best.
Bye, Brody.
I don't
Love
know
you.
who is Negan.
Who's Negan, Brody?
Brody? Oh, he
What?
might.
He's there.
Oh,
What?
tell me who Negan is. I don't know who
Well,
he
let
is.
him talk. Shut your mouth.
He has a black jacket,
Uh-huh.
a bat,
Uh-huh.
and a red cowboy chain around his neck.
Yeah,
That's right.
handkerchief.
That's right. What is he
I
from?
also wearing that, and he also has boots.
He does have
Yeah.
boots, yes. Do you know what he's from?
I forgot.
Okay, good.
He's
See,
from- yeah.
he doesn't know.
He's from
5,
Epcot
guys.
Center. Is that
I've
what he
raised
said?
him well. Okay.
All right.
He said he forgot.
I
so
really
it's
don't
good.
know where he's from.
Good. That's all right. You
Well.
don't need to see it. All right.
Is he a cowboy character?
Yeah, he feels like he's from a video game. See?
Yeah.
Oh,
Raised him
okay.
well. I love you, kiddo. Have a great day.
Love you,
Thanks
Brody.
for joining us, Brody. You rock, man.
Love you too.
All right.
See you, dude.
Bye.
That's awesome.
5 years old. He's a character on The Walking Dead. Yeah, Brody has no idea.
Oh.
Yeah, don't ever
Yeah, he's
tell.
like a really, really terrible.
I've never
He's
seen
an
one.
anti-hero. He's still a great guy.
I've never seen him.
All right. Yeah, he walks around with a baseball bat named Lucille with barbed wire on it. Yeah,
Wow.
that's great. Brian Nixon.
Hey, guys.
Great.
Thanks for having
Great
me
hour.
on.
Great hour, man.
Fun.
Loved it. It was great.
Make
Thank
sure
you.
people type us a
Type us
letter.
a letter, guys.
4001 Osuna Road, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87109.
All right, we'll write you one back. We'll type one. and
That's
send
right.
it back to you. All right, we got to take a break. Live from the Dream Style Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Hang out.
A Star 88 Supernova. Here's Rick Warren.
God put you on this earth for a reason. God put you on this earth for a purpose. He has a mission that only you can fulfill. But part of that mission, once you step across the line, is to tell other people. You know Christ because somebody told you. Who are you going to tell? Let me just say it like this. If somebody died for you, would you want to know about it? Yeah, you would. See, Jesus died for every single person in the world. And this weekend, the typical resident will sit at home watching TV, got his hot cocoa probably or something, newspaper, TV on, kick back, relaxed, totally unaware that Jesus Christ died for him and the grace that is available, both in the past, the present, and the future. Totally oblivious to that fact.
Catch Rick Warren's Daily Hope on KNKT 1071 weekdays at 7:30 a.m. On the air and in your face.
But lovingly so.
This is Star 88 at 88.3 FM, KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and online at star88.fm.
Come be the fire in my soul. Come breathe your life in my broken bones. For I once was dead, but now I live. heartbeat again.
The Waiting Kind, Heartbeat, Star 88, 803.
High today of 56 degrees.
Oh, wrong button.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
If your child is suffering from a prolonged Halloween candy sugar high, you'll be glad to know there's help at the Halloween Candy Detox Center.
I can fly!
Once your child is admitted, our trained medical staff will start them on a pure chocolate IV drip to help bring them down gradually. Next, they'll be administered prescription Butterfingers, and for more serious cases, an injection of liquid Skittles.
I can walk through walls!
Finally, we'll follow up with outpatient treatment, including classes such as AA, Almond Joy Anonymous.
Oh my gosh.
While there is no cure for Halloween candy addiction, we can help your child manage this serious illness at the Halloween Candy Detox Center, where we really wish we had fewer things made of glass.
Man, I forgot about our sponsor there. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Welcome to it, guys. I think I might check myself into that little rehab center.
Okay.
A little getaway, you know?
Beautiful.
Welcome to it. Hopefully you guys are surviving your morning, your Thursday morning after Halloween last night. Some of you, man, I got home kind of late last night, and there were still kids going door to door. I'm like, what?
I was pretty surprised, actually.
It's like 9:30, and it's like the kids still going door to door. Same, man.
Dude, Kevin said he forgot his son's candy holder, so he bought a cheap $2 pumpkin from Walgreens. It got so heavy the handle broke off, and his son's candy dumped all over the sidewalk.
Yeah, I don't know. Since I was a kid, I've always used pillowcases.
That's what Luke did.
That's what you do, man.
Brody had the pumpkin bucket, and
Yeah.
I had to carry it by the end. It was so heavy.
Yeah, those little pumpkin buckets, they're too small. You got to get your pillowcase, man.
Yep, that's what I did.
Last year, Lando and I think we got our pillowcase half full of candy. It was ridiculous. Yeah. You know? How long do you think candy lasts? You know, does it spoil quick? But because sometimes people will, if they didn't get rid of their Halloween candy, they'll like, okay, well, we'll just use this next year. Do you think that's still good? You know, like a year later? What do you think? How long does candy last?
17 months.
Well, not quite that long, but you're close. You're very close. Yeah. Milk chocolate, 10 months in a cool, dry place. You're going to go white chocolate, it's 10 months. Dark chocolate, 1 to 2 years in a cool, dry place. Wow. The lower milk content lengthens its shelf life. Okay?
Okay.
Pro tip. I like the pro tip. Put all your chocolate in the freezer to avoid the gathering of condensation that can spoil fridge-stored chocolate. Okay. Hard candies. Doesn't spoil. That's cool. All right. Suckers, Jolly Ranchers. Forever. Marshmallows, 6 to 8 months. Nougat, 6 to 12 months. So, you know what? A year is fine for most candy. That's good news, right? That's really good news. Yeah. You know what? You're not into this. It's cool.
I'm into it, bro.
No, you're not into
I'm
it.
so into it.
I'm out. Goodbye.
Don't come back.
You know, I'm just trying to save your candy, dude.
Is it
tough
weird?
at the
Like
Jeter household.
I ate a candy last night. Like growing up, it was like Nerds. I even said this yesterday. It was all like Skittles and all these things. And yesterday, when Brody had his big old bucket of candy, I realized I must be old. I hate chocolate.
Oh, you're so weird.
And yesterday, I found myself eating chocolate.
Oh, good.
Is that what happens when you get old?
No, dude.
You just like chocolate?
No. You know what I do like is dark chocolate now.
Oh, that's what I had yesterday.
Yeah, see?
I hate dark chocolate.
See?
And Kay gave me this little piece of toffee dark chocolate.
Oh, she shared those with you?
Isn't that great?
Oh, she
like
shared that with me the
$9
other
from
day.
Virginia or somewhere like
Yeah,
that.
bro.
And she was like, "Do you like Heath bars?" And I'm like, "I prefer Score bars, but I'll take a Heath bar if you got one." And then she gave me this little nugget of glory.
That's basically a Heath bar. It was so good.
Dude, speaking of sharing, coming up, I have an update, which is crazy.
Ooh.
We talked about the Red Sox victory parade, and we were talking about the city of Boston. City of Boston fired back, by the way. They
didn't just fire beers; they fired back.
They did fire back. They fired back hard. Yeah, we'll talk about the victory parade gone awry.
No, go right. Let's do it right now. Come on.
No!
In the news today.
Today! Well, guys, earlier we talked a little bit about the Red Sox victory parade. They were going down Main Street, and fans were throwing beers at them. Fans were throwing beers at the Red Sox. One beer can damaged the World Series trophy.
Oh.
But here's a question. They had Red Sox players catching beers and drinking them.
Mm-hmm.
So is it fair that one person who threw a beer is now arrested for assault and battery?
Yeah, that seems fair.
If, players are catching beers and they're like, and everybody's drinking, and then a 19-year-old threw one towards Red Sox manager Alex Cora. Problem was, it was already open.
See, open container law, bro.
Beer splashed on the manager, also splashed on the manager's daughter, and he was not too happy about it. Video emerged of Alex Cora getting hit with a can of beer. He was sitting next to his daughter when he got hit and immediately stared down a dude who threw the beer, pointing him out. That fan, Patrick Connolly, said, "I never meant any harm. I love Cora. I didn't mean to hit him. I'm sorry." 19 years old, charged with assault and battery by means of a dangerous weapon, also charged with disorderly conduct.
You know what? I think I agree with that because you could really, really, really hurt somebody. You could kill somebody with a
World Series trophy.
Well, if you hit somebody in the temple with a beer, yeah, man, you get a concussion, brain injury, death. You don't mess around with stuff like that, you know? Oof.
Yeah, Mookie Betts, outfielder for the Boston Red Sox, said this definitely has got to stop. He was seen expressing frustration. He kept trying to, bat them away. Now, some of the team's other players were spotted catching them and drinking them. So, I definitely understand, but it kind of sends a mixed message, right? There's players catching them yeah, Boston! And then there are other players batting them away who recognize the danger behind it. And then one kid, 19 years old, now arrested for assault, battery, and disorderly conduct.
See, this is what's going to happen. The people continue to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like that one person spoils it for everybody. Sooner or later, when you go to a football game, you go to a basketball game, there's going to be no drinks. There's going to be no food because people are throwing things.
Yeah. Sorry.
Idiots, man.
Oh, I know.
Throw the book at that guy.
I see what you did there.
See?
Is it open?
Is it open book? Stormy, good morning. Go ahead, Matt.
Good morning, guys.
Yes, Matt.
Hi, Gentry.
Matt Gentry, yes.
When I called earlier, you were talking about candy, and then I was on hold for 10 minutes, and you all of a sudden started talking about baseball. So
I forget that, your time is very valuable.
You know what?
will be
It's
dead
okay,
soon.
man.
I apologize. We didn't mean to leave you on hold that long.
It's fine. You can talk about whatever you want.
Yes, go ahead.
no, I just wanted to talk about candy.
All right.
This is good. Talk about candy.
There it is. What do you want to talk about?
If you were a candy bar, what would you be?
Oh, man. Almond Joy. Almond Joy.
I know what you'd be, Steve-O.
What?
No, whatchamacallit. No, seriously, my favorite candy as a kid growing up, they don't make anymore, or I have not seen literally in, I don't know, decades.
60 years?
Big hunk.
Abba Zaba.
Oh, okay.
Abba Zaba.
Yeah, you know who liked Abba Zabas? Beetlejuice. Hey.
Did he?
Yeah, all right. Hey. Yeah, that's how he catches a fly. Isn't it an Abba
Oh, yeah.
Zaba?
Oh, yeah. That's
Or
right.
it was the Zagnut, wasn't it? Maybe? I don't remember. I don't remember. Abba Zabba.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's
right.
cool.
Well, it would have been a good topic
No,
at the time you were talking about candy, but then you switched to baseball, so now it's kind of like, meh.
Hey, I'm sorry,
maybe
man. Sorry.
maybe on your last show.
If you
it would've
could
been,
be
but-
any candy bar, what would you be?
Yeah, it's.
I'd be a big hunk.
I just said that. And you stole it from me.
I know.
What a
This
weirdo.
topic would be a 0 bar. Am I right? Yeah. Moving on.
I'd be a Kit Kat. You know why?
What?
Just 'cause. That's what that whole conversation sounded like to me. I'd be a Snickers bar. You know why? You know why, Steve?
Because you satisfied?
Because they're delicious. That's why. Isn't that funny, right?
Gosh.
Back to you, Steve, in the newsroom. Go ahead. Back to beers in Boston. Go ahead.
No, how about this? Things handed out last night for Halloween. Since we're talking candy, Shannon said some kids came by and one of them was holding a potato. Naturally, I said, "Is that a potato?" And 3 of them said, "Yeah, we got it from your neighbor." And then they showed me the Kraft singles they were also given to go with it. And the neighbor told them, "Go home and make a baked potato." That's real. Could you imagine if you were that house?
Oh, gosh.
I got you some carbs.
Got you some carbs.
It's a potato.
Yeah.
Ask your parents for some chives and sour cream. Fully loaded. Here's a Kraft singles.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm sure there was quite a few of them in the Albuquerque area last night, you know. Here's some matches. Sorry.
There was one house that was handing out toys, and Brody goes,
"Oh, that's a good way.
I got a toy." And
good way
then
to get rid
the
of your
guy
toys.
came out to the street and he was like, "Hey, if it's a choking hazard or something, we just, if he'd rather have candy." And I'm like, "No, I think he was excited about it." He was like, "I just wanted to make sure, right?" And it was like, "Man, I love you, community."
That's pretty cool, man.
Good job, neighbors.
Yeah, get rid of all your
I
junk.
actually posted the guy's house on my Insta story because it was terrifying. Did you see that last night?
Yeah, that's pretty cool
Like
house.
the ghost in the window and all this creepy, crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, he was like the nicest guy in the neighborhood.
That's cool.
He was like, I usually go bigger, I do more, but I was in a motorcycle accident, still recovering. I was like, dude, we'll be praying for you. I'm sorry.
Man.
Say hi to your mother for me.
All right, we got to take a break. If you guys want to chime in, 505-338-3700. If you'd like to call us, yes?
Remember this time we got a can of Spam last night? No joke.
Dude.
Can of Spam. You're going to need that for the zombie apocalypse. You'll thank
Right
them
up.
later.
Spam and eggs. All right, live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. We'll be right back.
Every breath counts, especially for the more than 334,000 New Mexican residents living with a lung disease such as lung cancer, asthma, or COPD. Join the fight and walk with the American Lung Association at the Albuquerque Lung Force Walk Saturday morning, November 10th at 9 a.m. at the Hoffmantown Church. Enjoy family-friendly activities, lung health education, and inspiring stories of hope. Together, we'll raise funds and awareness for lung disease research, education, and advocacy. The dollars raised can help researchers develop better early detection methods, treatments, and ultimately cures. Create a team with your friends, family, and coworkers and show those with lung disease that they're not alone. Help end lung disease and support those who deserve a fighting chance. Register at lungforce.org/walk or call 1-800-LUNG-USA. Part of Mission New Mexico, sponsored by TLC Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, KNKT 107.1 FM, and Star 88.
Death. It is a difficult but important topic. That makes it a perfect topic for this hotspot from Skip Heitzig.
It is a difficult thing to think about. It's not an easy or palatable subject to talk about. Death? Death? Why should I do that? I'm too busy living my life.
Hotspot. And now Skip has this flash of wisdom for you.
It doesn't just mean to live on and on and on in the future. It's rather a quality of life that we enjoy now and into the future.
You can listen to Skip's teachings on the go. Get the Skip Heitzig podcast on your mobile device. Now, Skip zeroes in on the main thing.
Why are people judged by their works? Here's the answer. Because they wouldn't let God judge them by Jesus' work on the cross.
Find a treasury of messages from Skip at connectwithskip.com.
That God of love sent the perfect one to take your place in punishment so that he could give you the free gift and everlasting life.
Hotspot.
call my name in that moment when I see you face to face. I'm waiting my whole life to hear you say, well done, my good and faithful one. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done, my beloved child. You have run the race and now you're home. Welcome to the place where you belong. What will it be like when tears are washed away and every broken thing will finally be made whole? What will it be like when I come into your glory, standing in the presence of a love so beautiful? I'm waiting my whole life for that day. I will live my life to hear you say, well done, my good and faithful one. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done, my beloved child. You have run the race and now you're home. Welcome to the place where you belong. What will it be like when I hear that sound? All of heaven's angels crying out, singing holy, holy, holy are you, Lord. Singing holy, holy are you, well done, my good and faithful one. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done, my beloved child. You have run the race and now you're home. Welcome to the place where you belong. Well done.
The Afters, well done. Star 88, 821.
High today of 56 degrees.
It's the Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. Stormy, welcome to the show.
How's it going, Dex? It's Josh.
Hi, Josh. What are you doing, bro?
I'm just at work.
Yeah? Just hanging out?
Moving stuff. Yeah,
Good,
man.
good,
Moving
good,
some rental cars around.
Good, man. Good.
Hey, you guys are talking about candy, right?
Yeah, dude. That's the topic. What candy bar would you be?
I don't know about candy bar, but I'd be a peep so no one would eat me.
You'd be
a peep.
Oh,
Beautiful.
A peep. Yeah, I agree. Peeps are disgusting.
First candy ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Little baby chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Get it, dude.
Well, it was weird because I was looking forward to eating some Skittles yesterday because I don't eat a lot of candy. And I was like, I get an excuse to eat some candy. And I've discovered that I eat so little sugar that I ate a single little mini packet of Skittles, and it made me sick for the whole night.
Oh, gosh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, I have ruined candy for myself. What have I done?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
That's a good thing, though.
That is a good thing. But yeah, when I came off the sugar at the beginning of the year, when I would eat anything that had sugar in it, I got like a stomach ache. It made me sick.
Yeah.
That's how bad
Yeah,
sugar is for you.
Yeah, bro. I woke up this morning, and I still feel like the residual effect of it, and it's horrible.
Yep.
Don't eat sugar, son.
Don't eat sugar, son. That's the best advice you could give from the lead singer of Aerosed.
No, seriously. I mean, just from a singer's perspective, don't eat sugar, man.
Right.
And just from a human perspective, don't eat sugar. It makes you feel bad.
Yeah, why do you think it is that a lot of, I don't know, probably not as much, because you don't see a whole lot of people like smoking cigarettes anymore.
Yeah.
But when you'd see a singer smoking cigarettes, you'd be like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Isn't that crazy,
Yeah, it's
Josh?
Oh, I've always thought that, man. And some people, they give the excuse, a lot of people that I know, they give the excuse, oh, it helps my voice be raspy or whatever, or, if they struggle with stage fright, even some of the, really professional people, they struggle with stage fright, and it helps calm their nerves. I'm like, that's not worth it, man. Like, find another way to.
They're gonna
It's so bad
be
for you.
really, really, really calm when they're in a casket because cancer.
Yeah. Good call, Steve.
man.
I went dark, bro.
Yeah,
I
you
went
did.
dark, Let's just drive it home. Death.
It's like short term, it dries your throat out. So if you're going to be doing any like harder vocals, it's really going to get in the way. And long term, you're going to lose your lungs. You're going to lose your stamina. You're going to have a harder time going longer or, doing any sort of like stage presence, acrobatics and stuff like that. Cause you're going to be out of breath and it's going to ruin everything.
Horrible.
Well, this is coming from a guy who is in a pretty successful metal band that nobody knows about.
I know.
They're called Aerosed. This is Josh. He would know because he sings and screams in the band. The first time you told us about your band and we played it, we were absolutely blown away. So I'm excited
Thanks,
to see
man.
what's coming up in the future for you guys. And it's not Aerosed, right?
Yeah. Aerosed's kind of, we're on hiatus right now just for the fact that our singer moved away to Arizona. And, good for him. Worship pastor now of a
Hold
church
on
out
one
there.
second, Josh. Here's Aerosed.
No.
Guys, that's Josh.
That's Josh. He's
and
like,
yeah, you
he's
think
like
you'd know a few things about like singing, you know?
you're gonna need a breakdown.
That's amazing. And I don't even like music like that. I like
a
it.
breakdown of the lyrical
I actually listen to that when I work out and go for runs now, dude. No joke.
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
I'm
man,
serious.
that means a lot to me.
I'm dead
Well, there you
serious,
go.
man. That song, it actually pumps me up.
Talking about, yeah.
My pastor, who's in his 40s, he's not at all into rock music or metal or anything like that. And he genuinely enjoys the music, which is, it's really cool for me to bring people into a genre of music that is not super popular.
Yeah.
But, to me, it just has like this higher level of emotion. And, I want to bring the gospel into that sort of world where people don't generally hear it. They wouldn't set foot in a church. They wouldn't be willing to listen to, like a Jesus freak talk to them about Jesus.
Right.
But, you play the music and people, they dissect the lyrics just because they want to sing along.
Yeah.
And, it just, that's really what I wanted. To me, it's a ministry.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I like
keep
to take
at
the
it.
ideology of, oh, sorry.
All right, Steve-O's cutting you off, so I'm sorry, Josh.
I
Go
literally
ahead.
just said keep at it. I don't understand how that got. My bad. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
I like to keep the ideology of the late great Rich Mullins.
Yeah.
Who he wasn't in it for money or the thing. Like, to me, I couldn't care less about the success of the band overall. Not that I don't care about professionalism, but to me, it's about reaching people with the gospel that wouldn't normally hear it. And, if lots of people want to hear it, awesome.
Yeah.
If it brings one person to Christ, totally worth it for me, man.
Right on. Well,
So-
here's Josh and his latest single. It's Aerosed. It's called Insomnia. Check it out first, right here on 88.3 KLYT Star 88. It's where the music matters. What's our tagline?
Sing along to every song.
Sing along to every song with Josh And Arrow, this is, I'm not hitting the ramp. I don't know when it is.
Yeah,
but it's,
at some point they'll start singing.
Here he is. Here's Josh and Arrow said on Star 88.
Yes!
Okay. No,
That's still
maybe
not
that's
it.
the rejoin.
Still not- yeah, that's okay. All right. Well.
Hey, Josh, we got to go, man. But thanks for sharing that. And love you, dude.
Yeah, love you too, Dick.
All right, bud. We'll see you, man.
All right, see you guys later.
I also love you.
Josh hates you.
Okay, wow.
Just cut him off, dude. Trying to share his story with you.
Okay.
No, seriously, go to YouTube if you guys are interested in checking Arrowset out. It's Desire spelled backwards, if you're wondering how to spell it. Desire spelled backwards, which is pretty cool. I like that. But they got a few tracks up there on YouTube. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, did you want to share that news?
Which? Oh gosh.
No, I didn't.
It's pretty
know if you wanted
serious,
to.
right?
Yeah, we don't have to share that. Cool. Hey, but don't forget this Friday, join Heidi. She's going to be out broadcasting her show from 10 to 2. She'll be at the Fiat on San Mateo, and it's all for Feed NM Kids. We're trying to wipe out childhood hunger. We're number one. We're number one when it comes to childhood hunger. So that's a drop-off location on Friday, 10 to 2, Heidi broadcasting live. High-protein items, non-perishable food items. You guys join her. All right, we got to take a quick break, guys. Live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Hang on.
On Star 88, Robert Morris brings us this PowerPoint.
We are preserving our world from ending. We are preserving our society from decaying. The more you take Christian faith, principles, and morality out of society, the quicker that society will die and decay. You think about it. We took prayer out of our schools, look what's happened. We took the 10 Commandments out, look what's happened. Our society, the sooner you take the salt out, but it doesn't, I would love to see prayer in schools, I'd love to see all that, but there are still Christians in schools. There are still Christians in courtrooms. There could be Christians on the school board, Christians on the city council, Christians in the state legislature, and we could preserve our society because we are salt.
A PowerPoint with Robert Morris. This is Star 88.
Hey, what's going on in the news today?
We're less than a week away from the midterm elections,
and we are already seeing huge numbers when it comes to early voting.
If the midterms don't do so well for Republicans, you're all going to lose a lot of money.
A federal grand jury in Pittsburgh indicted Robert Bowers for the synagogue massacre last weekend. He faces 44 counts, including federal hate crimes. He could get the death penalty.
There is growing anger at the University of Maryland, where the Board of Regents voted to reinstate the head football coach 5 months after the death of a player after practice.
A federal prison in West Virginia remains on lockdown as the search continues for the killer of Whitey Bulger.
The suspect, a mafia hitman, Freddie Giaz.
Federal investigators in Tucson swooped in and arrested Ahmad Suhad Ahmad for showing them how to build and blow up a bomb.
One of the nation's largest electric scooter companies recently pulled thousands of scooters off the streets.
Lime says the batteries in some of its devices can catch fire.
The city of Boston is celebrating the Red Sox World Series win.
Some fans toss beer cans to the players. One can damage the World Series trophy.
Way to ruin the party, dude.
Yeah.
Way to ruin it.
Guy ruins it for everybody.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hanging out live on Facebook and YouTube at Star 88 FM. Good morning, Ryan, Dento, Sarah, Aaron. Hanging out on the YouTubes. What's up, Seth, Shannon? What are you guys doing? Facebook? How was Halloween? Phone lines are open if you'd like to call in 505-338-3700. All right, you got to share this Derrick Rose news because he's one of my favorite basketball players.
Yeah.
And since his injury a few years ago, he's just never been the same. But I don't know, this year I've been hearing some highlights. I've been watching some highlights from him, and it looks like he's getting that explosiveness back.
Oh, the irony of fun nights at the old ball game. Last night was turn back the clock night.
Ooh,
for the Timberwolves
this weekend, right?
And for those that don't follow the NBA because it's lame,
you're
like
lame.
This guy, I'm just kidding.
You're lame.
Listen, I love D Rose. He was amazing for Memphis. Wait.
Yeah, dude, Memphis.
Yeah. And then I loved him when I love the Bulls. So I loved him when he played for the Bulls. All 7 games in 10 seasons.
Well, I mean, he had the really good 7.
Gosh, he just got hurt, and then he got hurt.
But no joke, one of the greatest
and then he got
players
hurt?
ever if he wouldn't have got injured. I'm serious. I think he would have been like up there with like a Kobe Bryant if he wouldn't have got injured.
On Turn Back the Clock night, Derrick Rose reminded everybody that at one time he was considered the future.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't follow basketball, the Timberwolves have a star in Jimmy Butler who is demanding a trade right now. So last night he said, I ain't going out.
Jimmy Butler said that?
I'm sitting.
Wait, he
said
a knee?
he needed to rest.
Jimmy Butler did?
Did not play last night.
Okay.
He's currently demanding a trade from the Timberwolves.
Wow.
So Derrick Rose was like, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Is
so
Derrick Rose
guy,
even starting? Is he starting or is he...
Last night he did.
Okay.
Last night he did, and this is a guy that has fought and tried, and man, he came back from knee surgery, blew it out again. I mean, year after year, this is a guy who just continues to try, and then sadly, his body fails him, man.
Yeah.
So last night, he went out there and he said, I gave my all. And he did. When that final buzzer, Derrick Rose had dropped 50 points against the Utah Jazz.
Yeah! 50 points!
It was a very emotional moment for him. You can watch the interview.
Who did they play?
They played the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
You know, a playoff contender. After they asked him what it meant to him, he said everything. I worked my butt off. I went and did this for the franchise, the organization, the fans, everybody, man. I played my heart out. My teammates told me before the game, just play my game, and tonight was a heck of a game. Yeah, he took the floor Wednesday without Jimmy Butler, who was officially sitting for, quote, rest, but declined to take the floor because he is demanding a trade right now. Another starting point guard, Jeff Teague, also sat last night. And so they were going, what are we going to do, man? We need a win. We need a W. I actually saw this because LeBron James this morning had this amazing post about Derrick Rose and how hard work, perseverance.
What'd he say?
Pays off. Here, I'll go to, I follow Bron because I love that man.
Good for you, Derrick Rose.
King James.
Oh, man, I'm watching the highlights right now.
Yeah, dude. He said, so extremely happy and proud of you, bro. I've seen it firsthand how much you've worked and dedicated on your body, your craft, your mind, etc., just to play one game at a time.
Dude.
Perseverance. And this is the absolute perfect definition of it. Salute, bro. D Rose for president.
Gosh, man.
Prayer hands. Prayer hands.
His explosiveness to the basket is just unreal. It looks like he's got it back. Like he's got it back, man.
It's just a solid reminder to never give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you believe God has created you for a purpose, like a great purpose, and I think all of us are, man, it takes hard work, it takes dedication, and there's going to be times where you fall down, there's going to be times where you want to give up because, man, look at Derrick Rose year after year. How many knee replacement surgeries has this dude had?
He's always injured, yeah.
He is, yeah. I want to, here,
just riding the pine, man. Just riding the pine for years now.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started, we saw it last year. We saw some of his explosiveness start to come back. But, man, it sounds like this year is his year to be back.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. 2010-2011 MVP campaign. Since then, he has required surgery so many years that caused him to sit the entire 2012, 2013 season. He returned to play in 2013, 2014. But, I mean, you look at him. How many knee surgeries has he had? 3 previous knee operations while with the Bulls, including one to repair a torn ACL in his left knee that he suffered during the 2012 playoffs. I mean, that dude gets injured.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine.
These are career-ending like injuries.
But he believes he can still play the game, and yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know?
It was really cool to see that last night. He dropped 50 points. And just a cool reminder for everybody to never give up. Because I couldn't imagine being a pro athlete and tearing an ACL. and then having surgery, and then working hard for a year, and then coming back and then blowing your knee out again.
You know who I hope doesn't give up and is getting traded left and right? Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
That guy, he used to be one of the best NBA players, and now he's just getting traded. And he's just not the player. He got injured, and he came back, and he's just not the player he used to be.
Yeah.
You know who else is I got to give a shout-out to somebody real quick. I have to. Because last night, Landon Toth had his first basketball game last night. And I was scared to death, guys. As a father, I'm with him almost every day. And I've seen how his muscles have atrophied from playing Fortnite so much. I was worried that he wouldn't be able to run down the court because he just sits in one position playing Fortnite for hours, yelling at his friends constantly. So I was worried, what's he going to be like? Because he's 5 feet 10 inches. He's in the 7th grade. He has a size 12 foot. I mean, coaches are like scouting him out. And I was nervous. First game of the season, I go, hey, bro, I want you to score at least 20 points. He looked at me and said, you know what, Dad? I'm going to score 50 points.
Okay.
I grabbed my son. I've never been more proud. I tucked him close and I said, you got this, son. Yesterday during the game, guess how many points he had?
12.
15. I mean, he was close to 50. He was close. He had 15. He was close, but you know what? And he was a little out of shape, and I think his left leg might be stuck because he's in this weird position when he plays Fortnite. So I think he did pretty good considering, you know, he didn't get to 50, but...
You just destroyed my great Derrick Rose story. Just destroyed it.
But I looked at him at the end of the game, and I pulled him close, and I said, son,
still proud.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
I know you have a dream to be the greatest Fortnite player
Come on,
ever.
you say the P word? You proud?
But...
Oh, no. It's bad.
You can do better.
Wow.
Okay? You can do better.
Sometimes we need people like that to tell us we can do better. You know what the cool thing is, going back to Derrick Rose? He's a solid believer.
Yeah. Yep.
He's
one of the reasons why I love
his faith.
him.
He's has said in the past that God does everything for a reason, and these knee surgeries he's had, he still wears a wristband that says, in Jesus' name I play.
That's cool, man.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're looking for a player to watch and get behind, Derrick Rose right now.
50 last night, guys.
Good for him, man.
That's so good. He did it in honor of Landon, who couldn't do it himself.
Of Landon, you know, I'm just
couldn't do it.
Pray for Lando, guys, please. Just pray for that kid. You know, he's in middle school. He's in 7th grade. He's addicted to Fortnite. And
what do you do when your kid's like, I want to be a professional video game player?
Exactly. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I really want to encourage you, son. But I also
mean, my oldest is still mad at me
want
over
you
that.
to have a. You to have a job where you make money.
That's what, you know, it's you bring that up, but seriously, no joke. If anybody had a chance to be to make millions, it's my son Caleb. And guess what? This guy right here, I'm pointing to myself, shattered that dream.
Shattered it.
Yeah. I'm a terrible father, guys.
Whatever, man. No. If you have a dream, nobody can shatter it. You got to persevere. Look at that. Derrick Rose. How many surgeries?
I put an end to my son's dream. That's what I did. So I'm just trying to. That's the thing with Landon. I never want to be the dad that, you know,
crushes a dream.
Well, not really crushes, but I just want him to have fun because I know how much fun I had playing basketball. I mean, I loved it. It was everything to me when I was growing up, and I just had so much fun, and I just want him to have that same feeling. So I never want to be that parent that spoils it for him. You know, just want to encourage him and. You know, if he scores 15 points, that's amazing. Good for him. And he's a team player, you know?
Yeah.
He passes the ball. He had quite a few assists, a couple blocks. So I'm proud of the kid.
Okay.
For as much Fortnite as he plays, I mean, he did pretty well. He's going to have a good season. I pray one day Fortnite would just somehow, some way, just be destroyed. You know? Like, I don't know.
I know many parents who have prayed that very thing.
I know, man. I know.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. We gotta go to break. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Paul, what are you doing, bro? Let's go play some basketball again, huh? Let's go do it. All right, live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. If you guys want to chime in, what's that live line number to text in?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
I got 4 things you should never order at a restaurant.
Ooh, great.
According to chefs.
Great.
I haven't looked at this list yet, and I'm kind of excited. If you love to eat out, love to. You know who I want to check in with is the McVeys to see how they're doing on their keto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is it, like day 3 of their keto?
Yeah.
Got to be rough. Yeah, lots to do. We'll be right back. Hang out with us.
A Star 88 Supernova with Greg Lord.
Now, I remember the first time I was tempted. You see, up to that point, I never really thought about temptation. I saw temptation as, well, opportunity. I agreed with the philosophy of Oscar Wilde, who said, I can resist anything but temptation. So when something appealing came up to me, I would just do it. Now, of course, I reaped the consequences of doing those things and was a pretty miserable person at the ripe old age of 17 that set me on a search for meaning of my life, and I heard the gospel and gave my life to Christ. But after I did that, the Christians came to me and said, now, Greg, be careful because the devil is going to tempt you. And I said, well, how will I know it when the devil's tempting me? They said, you'll know. And I did.
Catch Greg Laurie's teaching show, A New Beginning, on our sister station, KNKT, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. on 107.1 FM.
When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I own, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. 'Cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. She no longer has a place to hide. I am not captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. Oh, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Oh, I'm standing.
Josh Baldwin, Stand in Your Love. It's Star 88, 848.
High today of 56 degrees.
It's the Morning Invasion with Dax and Steve-O on Star 88.
You've seen them on the streets, crying, begging for help, struggling to survive. After losing everything to a catastrophic event, it often feels there's nowhere to turn, no way to regain what was taken in the blink of an eye. Maybe you thought to yourself, one day I'll help. But the children who woke up and found their Halloween candy was eaten by their parents don't have until the 12th of never. They need your help now. For just pennies a day, you can help replenish the candy that mysteriously disappeared during the night. Each month you'll receive a picture of your child holding a miniature Snickers or Butterfinger, slowly putting the broken pieces of their Halloween back together, while their parents waddle around the house in search of stretch pants and Rolaids. For more information, call 1-800. I walked around all night wearing a stupid costume for nothing. Operators are standing by.
That's cool. Yeah, that's real life right there, guys. Break out them stretchy pants. Welcome to the show, everybody. You guys want to hang out with us? Chime in. Be a part of the show. What's the live line number?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
I suggest you dial 1-800-REALITY because that makes absolutely no sense.
Oh, well, I thought it was right.
4 things you should never order at a restaurant.
Oh.
According to chefs. Okay? According to chefs. This is important stuff that we need to know and learn, right? Okay? All right. Start with number 4 here. When's the last time you ordered the seafood special?
Never? Well, no, okay, that's a lie.
You want the
to
seafood
be fair,
special, bro?
I did have the sushi in Vegas at a buffet and got food poisoning, so I will never do that again.
I don't know if that has anything to do with the seafood special,
I mean,
but everybody knows
I do
you don't
have
order
$5
that.
sushi every week at a grocery store.
Yeah.
So, but the lady promised me that's probably the freshest day, actually, because they're sushi that they got to
Right.
make it fresh.
Well,
and I'm going, okay.
But that's the thing with
keep buying.
stores now that have the sushi.
Yeah.
There's like an actual like sushi chef like
I
making the
know.
sushi there. So
I know.
It's not like it's just been sitting there, or maybe it has. I don't know. The seafood special. This is what chefs are saying. Hey, don't order the seafood special because it's usually made with seafood that's about to go bad. So it's just kind of their way to clean out their fridge. Okay, I'll remember that one. Number 3, a really expensive cheeseburger. The markup is ridiculous. It's rarely worth it. They might be using expensive ingredients to justify the price tag, but burgers are supposed to be made with cheaper cuts of meat anyways. So they say it's a waste of money. Did you hear about that one burger joint that closed their doors? Some would say they were 5-star.
Oh, really?
Now 0-star.
Wow.
They're done. Yeah. You know what? I don't think I've ever ordered this. Mussels. One bad mussel can make you really, really sick.
Really?
They say it's risky. Anthony Bourdain once said he'd only order them if he knew the chef personally. Rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain. And number 1, according to chefs, 4 things you should never order at a restaurant. Well-done steak. They use less desirable cuts of meat because it's harder to notice when they're well done. If you have a specific reason, tell your waiters so they know why you're asking for it. For example, pregnant women should go with well or medium well. I'm more of a, I'd say medium rare. Yeah, if you know how to cook medium rare, because you say medium rare at a lot of restaurants here, and you get well done.
Yeah, agreed.
So I usually say rare, and I get medium rare. Just saying. But you know what? On occasion, I do like the rare for some weird reason. I don't know why, but I like the rare.
All right. Hey, buddy. Hey.
There you go. 4 things you should never order at a restaurant, according to chefs.
I agree with these.
back to you in the newsroom, Steve.
The city of Albuquerque has 50 vehicles with snow plows, 40 vehicles with salt spreaders, and 16,000 cubic yards of salt and cinder on tap for this year's winter.
Oh, wow.
In an effort to make sure everything is good, the city of Albuquerque prepared a snow day in the Duke City. They're actually having a mock snow day today.
Oh, you know what?
Like
Before, hold on.
They
I think
paid
we need to
people
do
to, like,
something
come
real
to,
quick.
come to work.
Hold
and,
on a
like,
second.
Oh,
There's a certain young lady hanging out in the studio behind me, and I feel like we owe her an apology.
what's this we stuff?
Yeah. Well, we're a team, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Really your fault, but
Ow.
I'll you know what? I'll take 50% of it. You been dodging us?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No, absolutely not. I love you guys.
Apologize, Steve-O.
What did you say? You said that I'm a bad
Remember
person?
the last time you came in and like we totally forgot to
Oh,
tell you we
yeah.
weren't doing shock therapy, and then like you got ready and got a
Oh, yeah.
babysitter and
In a world
That's right.
where
That did
DJs
happen.
don't
I forgot.
care for feelings.
I do have hate in
When
my
feelings
heart.
Why would you bring this back
are
up?
destroyed.
because we
kidding,
didn't
I
get a
don't.
chance to
This is your
apologize.
I got
This
way
is your
beyond
fault.
it. I already got
When
over
a-
it.
I apologize that day. We hugged it
When
out.
a single
I feel
mom
like we really
who's married
can't apologize the second it happens, dude.
Yes, that's when you should apologize. You don't let it stew for
You gotta
weeks.
wait at least a
That's
week.
why I didn't get stabbed in the neck, because I apologized to her immediately.
Yeah, I don't
She
know.
didn't have time to stew on it.
Gosh, I
didn't
thought
stew
you were
on it,
gonna
right?
murder
Did you
us.
stew on it? Did you stew on it?
No.
Okay, see.
I had other things to do. I have a life,
I
y'all.
apologize.
Well,
Just
I
kidding.
know you have a life, and that's why we felt so bad because
in a world
Yeah.
where she stews on it
Yeah.
and does something to Dex's car.
Oh, wow,
I don't know which one is this car.
good. It's
What did she
it's
do?
gray, and it's
You'll never know.
It's a Mazda.
Mm.
Yeah, I call her Gray. What do you call her?
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. Yeah, Jean Grey.
What do you call your
What do you call your car? Black Magic?
Black Magic? No, I don't have a name. I
It's a
used to
good
have a
name.
name for my other car I had, Edna.
Should be
Edna?
Black Panther.
I love you, Edna.
Edna.
She still smells so old.
Mm.
You know that old smell that old people have?
Mhm.
I love that smell. Do you love that smell?
Depends
When you go into
on
Grandma
the
and
old
Grandpa's house?
person's
No.
smell.
No.
Okay, well, they all have this specific old smell, and I love it. Reminds me, it gives me comfort. Anyways, the Height Six are here, and we're ready to rock some Shock Therapy Live.
We came in early.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
It's all right, man.
Don't apologize.
You don't have to
Sorry.
apologize.
Don't
at all.
apologize ever.
Sorry.
You guys get your questions in right now. You can text in.
And we need them today.
Huh?
We need them.
What do you mean?
Oh, we don't
need
have
questions. We don't have any.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
of course we do.
What?
Of course we do.
Oh, okay.
And phone lines are open if you'd like to call in for Shock Therapy Live. Nate, explain what Shock Therapy Live is.
Shock Therapy Live is a show where you call in. We ask you trivia questions. If you get the answer wrong, we send an electromagnetic shock through the
false.
phone, and it shocks your ear.
Although I did find out that
And
Mary
it's
Shelley's
live.
Frankenstein is because of electrical shocks
I
to
wanted to
dead
hear about
bodies.
that.
So
Shock Therapy Live.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
real.
we do.
that's real, guys.
Today, the topic of the trivia questions we will be asking you are on anatomy, history,
Anatomy.
and botany.
Wow.
Love it.
Okay. All right. 505-338-3700 if you'd like to call in for Shock Therapy Live. Yes, Steve-O?
Oh, no. Remember to start me just chiming in on the live line. 505-585-LIVE. If you'd like to ask a question, do so.
No, if you'd like us to ask you a question
Okay.
and you run the risk of getting shocked.
I love it.
All right.
I'm down.
Shock Therapy Live is next. Hang out.
You've shattered your strongholds through the hammer of God's Word, and now it's time to bring what you've learned to the table. As the holidays draw near, you might be around people you don't necessarily want to be around. Are you desiring to repair your relationships? Join us as Pastor James McDonald teaches from God's Word in this new series titled Relational Rehab, this week on Walk in the Word.
Make an appointment with James McDonald, weekdays at 12:30 p.m. on our sister station, KNKT 107.1 FM. This is KLYT Albuquerque, Santa Fe, rebroadcast on KKCJ, Cannon Air Force Base, KPKJ, Mintmore. K201CC, Las Cruces. K203EZ, Alamogordo. K207CQ, Gallup. K211CW, Hobbs. K212EH, Silver City. K214DE, Antonito. K218AK, Artesia. K250AB, Roswell. K293AO, Alamosa. K228DQ, Portales. In the free app for iOS and Android. And online at star88.fm.
There I was on death row, guilty in the first degree. Son of God hanging on a hill. Hell was my destiny. The crowd was shouting, crucify. Could have come from these lips of mine. The dirty shame was killing me. It would take a miracle to wash me clean. Then I read the red letters, and the ground began to shake. The prison walls started falling, and I became a free man that day. Felt like lightning hit my veins. My dead heart began to beat. Breath of God filled my lungs, and the Holy Ghost awakened me. Yeah, the Holy Ghost awakened me when I read the red letters. And the ground began to shake. Prison walls started falling, and I became a free man that day. For God so loved the whole wide world, sent His only Son to die for me. Arms spread wide for the whole wide world. His arms spread wide where mine should be. Jesus changed my destiny. Thank you, God, for red letters. When the ground began to shake, the grace of God started falling, and I became a free man that day. The prison walls started falling, and I am a free man today.
That's Crowder. Red Letters. Star 88. Good morning.
Hi.
901.
High today of 56 degrees.
The Morning Invasion brings you Shock Therapy Live, featuring Pastor Nate Heitzig. Call now, 338-3700, or email us at studio@star88.fm.
All right, phone lines are open. 505-338-3700. We definitely prefer the calls.
Yes.
And
The
the questions.
quaz.
The
The
questions.
Qualls.
Hey, I want to remind everybody
qualms.
on Facebook, we got a few people immediately going, Facebook kicked us. It's back up now. We apologize. Yes, the whole music thing.
Write letters to YouTube. Tell
I know,
YouTube.
right?
Tell YouTube we have a license. They're discriminating against us.
Yeah. Gosh.
Janae's here, Nate's here, and we welcome your questions. So if you're dealing with something, that's why we do Shock Therapy Live.
Boom.
That's
why we do it.
Welcome. Welcome to the show.
I've got a lot of questions.
Yeah?
Yep.
We do have a couple already. But yeah, again, you can text us your thoughts, 505-585-LIVE.
Call us. We like to hear your voice.
We do like to hear your voice. You can also email us studio@star88.fm. And man, okay, where do we start? Boom. How about well, he said his name. Do we
Just
say his name?
Bleep it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey y'all, this is from Texas. Been listening for a couple years, moved to Albuquerque for work for a year and had to come back to Dallas earlier this year, but have kept listening to y'all. Love you guys. Anyway, I had a question about worship. I went to a Hillsong concert and was overwhelmed by how aggressive the worship was. People were singing outside of the lyrics of the song, sounded like they were trying to do Whitney Houston runs, LOL. Anyway, it became very distracting and I found myself annoyed and I actually left early. Then I felt bad for hating on their worshiping. My question is, am I wrong to feel this way? Is there something wrong with me if I don't feel moved to scream lyrics or writhe all over the place when I'm worshiping?
Good questions.
Oh, man.
I'd say there's nothing wrong with you. We all have a personal opinion and personal preferences of worship. Some people like old school worship, like our friend Lainey.
So,
Dogs.
yeah, well, this is the issue I have. This is the issue I have. It was a Hillsong concert. It's not like I went to church and they were playing these songs. I don't like these songs.
Yeah.
You paid money to go see a concert in a band.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, you can be, because it's at a concert, like, you can be a bit more expressive than in church.
Yeah.
And so I think, one, understand what you're going to.
Yeah.
And then, two, before you buy tickets to a concert, maybe research if you like the music. And if you don't like their worship and their music,
I think
don't go
he
to the
likes
concert.
the worship. I don't think he likes that.
The
They
fans?
added to it. So he
Dude.
probably had their album. He listened to it. It was great. And then he gets there
Yeah, I think
and
it was
they're
the
not
people
following.
around him. It was the people.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he's saying because it was distracting. He found himself annoyed by the people around
They
him.
were flopping around like fish.
Welcome to
it wasn't-
concerts.
yeah, it wasn't.
Every
it
single
wasn't
time I
the
go to a
band.
concert at the Journal Pavilion, I'm distressed by old ladies dancing provocatively, weirdly to songs.
Yeah.
It really bothers me.
Yeah, dude, I saw Coldplay at the Fillmore in Denver a long time ago. It was a Rush of Blood to the Head tour. It was before they were like Coldplay. They weren't huge yet, so it was like this little theater bar thing.
Wow.
You know, a couple hundred people.
You're making me hate you.
Why?
Because I wish I would have
Oh, dude,
gotten to go do
I've
that.
seen them a handful of times.
I've never seen them.
Oh, really? Dude, I was the guy that like had their first. I still think. Oh, anyways, okay. We won't talk Parachutes. That album's phenomenal. But I'm old, so I got to go to these concerts. I saw Muse with like 100 people. Anyways,
Dude.
okay. Anyway, so I was at the show in Denver, and I felt the same thing this guy's feeling because when like the hit came on, Yellow, that was like the big hit back then. Totally dating myself. There was all these like drunk frat boys there, and they're like, "Yo, it's all Yellow," and everybody's like screaming, and I'm going, "Man, you're ruining my Coldplay experience. I really love this band." And sure enough, it was like dreadful and miserable, and I was complaining and hated it. So I understand what he's saying from a fan perspective. So it doesn't even need to be taken in the context of worship.
This is completely not a biblical question at all.
Yeah,
Completely a
it's like-
preference question. Is there anything wrong for you not liking that experience? No.
Nah.
Is there anything wrong with Hillsong worship and the kind of worship they do? No.
Right.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a preference question.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
So-
saying, hey, so I went to a restaurant, they had turkey sandwiches. I don't like turkey sandwiches.
Yeah,
is there
not a
anything
huge-
wrong with me or is there anything wrong with turkey?
Yeah.
No, there's
No.
not. It's just preference.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I will say I had to check my heart.
About Coldplay?
No, about
The frat boys.
I understand what he's saying because I remember, before shows, whatever, like, all right, working at a Christian radio station, you there's all kinds, and there's certain types of believers that you could probably put into different categories or boxes, if you will. And I remember being at specific shows with specific artists that were part of a specific movement. And
This is a lot of specifics without any specifics.
that's because I'm trying to be cool
Mm.
now.
In general.
And generalize it a little bit to kind of.
They're a little
tell 'em
Pentecostal is what he's going at.
No, I mean,
No?
I don't mind the Pentecostal. Here was my frustration that I had to get over. Hopefully to help him get over this preferential thing. Before the show, it was always like, hey guys, you guys want to pray before the show? And then you have the bands that were just like really poo. And then they're praying, the technical aspects would go well, and this and that and quick and right on and whatever. Boom. And then there were other shows where they'd ask someone to start, and then you'd have the popcorn prayer, and then wait for people to end. And then you'd have the experience where the person would get up there and say so many big look at my vocabulary words and have these like really gaudy prayers. And I would get frustrated and go, gosh, this person is so obnoxious. And it feels like they're praying to showcase how holy they are.
Right.
And I hate this guy. And God really had to do a work in me and remind me that that's still a person who loves Jesus. And maybe that is how he's expressing it. And maybe that's just how he speaks to God. And it sounds and looks differently than the way I pray or the way I do it. But that's his faith.
It's good.
And they have, and I mean, if he's doing it for the people in the room, then he's going to have to address that at some point, and God's going to have to talk to him, not me. And so it was something where I had to just kind of get over myself a little bit because it's not the way I do things. I mean, just yesterday, we had a day where we're talking Halloween and we had Pastor Levi Lesko on a couple days ago, and he's talking about wearing his shark costume, and him and Jenny have matching costumes, and people were excited and we're dressing up for Halloween. But then you had other people who were like, how dare you, as a Christian, take part in this, that, and the other.
Right.
So you have certain people who have certain ideas or opinions or perspectives, and we're called to love. You know, like John 13:34-35, Jesus said, a new command I give to you, to love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, all men will know you're my disciples, by your love for one another. And he was speaking specifically to people in the church. Like these were his people, by your love for one another. And there are so many times where I get frustrated with the person that is particular about a certain type of music or a certain type of whatever. And I have to remember that's just personal preference. That's how they're expressing their faith. And maybe you express it differently. There's nothing
The place
wrong
where we
with
need to get careful is when personal preference, we begin to try to back up personal preference with scripture when it's just personal preference.
Right.
It's a huge danger. It becomes dogma.
Yep.
And it's not based in something. So this happens all the time with the kind of clothes people wear, music. People try to spiritualize it, and they try to.
You mean your holy pants?
My
that
holy
some people
pants.
don't like?
Dude.
Wait, what?
You can't have.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can't have holy pants.
I've had emails and letters of people literally
No holy
saying
pants.
that you're to esteem a brother higher than yourself, and that I'm causing people to stumble by wearing my holy pants.
I've seen your knees, dog.
No,
That's
not like that.
anybody to
Not like that
stumble.
kind of stumble. Like stumble because they think that you should wear khakis and collared shirts, and they're stumbled because
like
a
Jake
pastor.
from State Farm?
Yeah, and like literally saying that when you're on the stage and you're wearing those pants, I can't listen to things that you're saying from the Bible. I mean, like
it's distracting.
Wow.
it's pretty crazy.
Gosh.
And his response was, I'm just trying to be holier than you.
No, my response was just
kidding.
by not emailing back.
Right.
That was my response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the best response is a not response.
For real.
Friday.
Yeah.
Sorry. I really like that
By the way,
segment,
they chimed back in and said, thank you, Steve-O, exactly what I needed to hear. Everyone has their own way to worship. I love their music. I was at a church. I was in a church setting, and maybe I just expected it to be more traditional worship, but I understand what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Hillsong guys, I know the guys in Hillsong, and they, man, my experience with them when I've hung out with them is they just love Jesus. They're just down-to-earth guys, and so before they get on the show, it feels like you're backstage with just a church worship band before they get on stage at church, and they just love Jesus, and, I think their heart's in the right place.
Yeah. Man, absolutely. Somebody else chimed in saying they're, personally, they're not a fan of certain types of worship either, whether it be Hillsong or Elevation. And their big thing that they're trying to get over, one of the worship leaders loves specifically those two and sings exclusively them all the time. This guy comes from a Baptist background, so he likes going on the Southern Baptist runs, which makes him crazy. Oftentimes, I feel like he's really up there just trying to perform for the church rather than worship. And this is something I struggle with. So this is something he's glad that we're talking about. So,
cool.
There you go.
Yeah, because I mean, you never know. Like I led worship at Calvary Nob Hill for over a year, and there were those that were like, "Man, the passion, the excitement. I'm so excited." And there were others who were like, "Can you just play some I'll Fly Away without dancing around?"
See, and this is the problem. And honestly, I'm going to harp on this for a little bit because as someone who oversees a worship department, it really drives me nuts.
Got a minute and a half.
The second people begin to turn worship from what worship is meant to be about God into worship about themselves, I have a huge issue with that.
Right.
So the second people start saying, well, you should play these songs, you should play those songs, look, if you're thinking about yourself when you're coming into the worship experience, your heart's in the wrong place. Your mind shouldn't be about what kind of music you like. Look, I can go to a church where, an African church where they're playing drums and worshiping. I can go to a Hillsong worship experience. I can go to a Mexico City and they can have a trumpet in worship experience. And I can worship in any of those environments because worship isn't about you.
Right.
And if you're coming into it thinking about your personal preferences, you're in the wrong place.
I couldn't agree more. I in New York a few years ago, Chrissy and I went to Hillsong at Union Square when they were still holding services.
You've got 45 seconds.
I do. And
just letting you know.
Where's the countdown?
I remember walking in and looking at everybody and totally judging because I was having a bad morning and everybody's walking around in their leather jackets and I'm like, Levi Lusko's everywhere. Everybody is just ripping off Levi. I hate you all. I was so judgy about the hipster culture there. And then I got into the worship and then the pastor came up with his ripped up jeans and leather jacket looking like Levi. And I'm like prejudging everything. And it was a phenomenal experience. And the people loved Jesus. The people were amazing with my wife and I. And I got to meet so many great people that genuinely loved Christ. And I remember thinking, man, I got to stop this. Like personal preference.
All it does is hurt you because they have no idea what's going on.
No clue.
You don't have the nerve to go up and go, hey, where's your heart?
Yep.
Hey, if you have a question, call us.
That's right.
505-338-3700 if you'd like to call in. We just love hearing your voice.
Call us during the break. And then we'll save you for after the break.
There you go.
Put you on hold.
Yeah, never know.
You can text in as well. What's the live line number?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483. Coming up, we got a question about marriage.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nate and I going on 10 tomorrow.
That's funny. They've been married for 10 years, and it's not good. So,
All right. Shock Therapy Live continues next.
Tony Evans. This is a Star 88 Supernova.
The first thing you must do, not to be a worldly Christian, is to submit to God. It was a military term, and it meant to get yourself in your proper ranking. It meant to surrender yourself to your legitimate authority, to get in the proper pecking order. This word submit is used throughout the Bible. Christians, for example, are told to submit to government. That is, to submit or place themselves under their government to the degree that the government is legitimate and it is requiring legitimate things. A wife is told to submit to the authority of her husband to the degree that he has submitted himself to the authority of Christ.
That was Pastor Tony Evans on a Star 88 Supernova.
Hi, I'm Todd Nettleton, and this is the Voice of the Martyrs Radio. When Gilbert Hovsepian was 17 years old, his father was martyred for his Christian work in Iran. Gilbert was devastated, and so were his mother and siblings. But through the work of organizations like the Voice of the Martyrs, their story became known around the world. Letters of encouragement started pouring in. In fact, they received so much mail that the postman became curious and commented that they must have a very large family. Gilbert simply smiled and answered, "Yes, we do. As believers in the body of Christ, we have an enormous family that spans the entire globe. Let's praise God for that beautiful truth."
I will not let my brothers and sisters suffer in silence, nor will I let them serve alone. Hear Gilbert's complete story when you visit vomradio.net.
I'm captivated, I say it, I'm on a whole new retreat. My space invaded, upgraded, I hear you talking to me. It's in the boom of the thunder, it's in the cool of the rain. And I'll say, I don't ever wanna get away. Tonight is beautiful, it's got my mind on you. And everywhere I turn is a reminder. I see you in everything, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me. I see you in every little thing, all day. No matter where I go, soul's awakened, I'm taken by all the beauty you bring. You got it blaring, staring, love watching you do your thing. There's no mistaking your style, no mistaking your touch. I see the grand, I see the subtle of your love. Lord, I see you in everything, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me I see you in every little thing, all day. No matter where I go, I know your love is finding me. It's finding me in everything, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me I see you in every little thing, all day. No matter where I go, I know your love is finding me. Tonight is beautiful, it's got my mind on you. And everywhere I turn is a reminder. From the sparkle in her eyes to the starlit open skies, you bring my heart to life, fill me with wonder. I see you in everything, all day, all day. And every beat of my heart keeps reminding me I see you in every little thing, all day, all day. No matter where I go, I know your love is finding me. I see you in everything. You're all up in everything. I see you in everything. You're all up in everything. Oh, I can see your love in everything. And that's why you'll always be my everything. Yeah, I can see your love in everything. And that's why you'll always be my everything.
Toby Mac, everything. It's star 88, 920.
High today at 56 degrees.
Why do you say that every time? High today, 56 degrees.
Oh, yeah! It's time for the show you've been waiting for. Shock Derby Live! Shock Derby Live! Here's your host you've been waiting for. Nate Heitsick! Nate Heitsick!
I like how it's sick.
Nate Heitsick. That's a great nickname.
You see, Nate,
I'm Nate Heitsick.
when the powers that be changed
Sick,
everything
bro.
and we were taking breaks, we have to find a way to do it concisely so that we can still play the song and talk about it, but then I have the ability to cut
Yeah,
it from
Nate,
the podcast.
don't mess with our formula, bro.
So that's why.
Don't mess with the formula,
That's why I
dude.
have to do that.
He has a formula.
But that's also the high today. It's 56 degrees.
Thank you for telling me that
No
10
problem.
times today. Appreciate
I
it.
missed it.
Hey,
The
wait,
other
wait. What?
10.
What's the high today? Is it 50?
56.
Okay, I thought you
High
said
today is
54.
56, yeah.
Are you sure?
So, yeah.
Okay.
It
We're
changes
trying-
all the time.
Hey, we
though.
do as we're told.
High today at 56? Are you sure it's 56?
It might be 57.
Okay.
Okay,
Maybe
all
it's
those
65?
people out there who didn't just enjoy the break, I think if you have a dance party during each break, you'll love life.
How about we get into questions because we only have so much time?
No, okay.
Oh, we
do
got to
have
go to
questions.
break. Hold on.
High today,
Hey, we got
56.
it. Yeah. All right. 505
Oh, yeah, we have the
585
marriage
live.
one.
That's 505 585 live. Here we go for shock therapy. My wife and I have been married for 10 years, but we were separated for 2 to 3 of those years. We're currently together and working on our marriage. However, most recently, I feel that she's been distant and unhappy. I've tried to talk to her, but when I do, she'll bring up the past, the years we were separated. I don't blame her for that because I did run away with another woman. But I've seen the error of my ways, and I left that stupidity behind me. I'm trying to move forward, but it seems impossible with the past constantly being thrown in my face. I don't know what other words or ways to help us move forward.
Wow.
Yep.
That's rough.
I'm kind of speechless. But no.
I mean, well, one, I think it's incredible that most people, when they go through that, there's not reconciliation after.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys are attempting to reconcile,
great.
I think one thing you need to look at is it's easy to decry her and say, well, she needs to forgive and forget. But guess what? She took you back.
Mhm.
That's huge. Most women don't do that. So the fact that she took you back and that she's willing to work on it is a big, big thing. And you
That
need
and
to...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I would probably want to ask and just want to know, when is she bringing it up? Because if she sees similar trends happening, or she sees you have a certain attitude towards her, you might be striking fear in her. And so she brings up the past like as a safeguard / oh my gosh, you're acting like the same person you used to be, and you promised me you'd change. And so I think no matter what, she's going to kind of have a new trigger point when you guys fight, when you guys have issues.
And now for you,
issues.
like the other thing that I didn't hear, I heard you say that you guys are trying to work through it, but I didn't hear that you're going to a counselor and that you're trying to get help with that. I think the things that you guys have gone through, you guys need to have a third party be a part of these conversations to get past things that probably both of you are dealing with. You know, a lot of baggage from your marriage. 10 years is a long time, and if things are going great, that's awesome. But if it's going bad, that's a lot of trash to try to dig through. So I think you need a third party to work through some of these things with. And then I think you need to focus on you. Honestly, the only way it's going to change isn't going to be by words. It's going to be by actions. It's going to be by long obedience in the same direction.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Eugene Peterson. It's going to be, focusing just every day, waking up, being the best husband you can be, and letting her watch and observe your actions. And then over time, those actions are going to be a lot stronger than any words you could ever say. And so I think it's just really going to be that long obedience in the same direction, doing the same thing, being faithful, loving her, all those kind of things.
And even to speak from our experience, we had some difficult years in our marriage and times where I didn't trust you and I didn't really know how we were going to work through our marriage. And, you were really good with having that long obedience. But on top of that, you really were good with having grace with me if I did bring up the past or I did bring up something that was, you're like, okay, that came out of left field. You didn't even have a good reason to reference that. But I think you were really good with having grace towards that. And slowly, as my heart began to trust again and my heart began to heal and see that, our marriage was walking in the right direction, I think slowly the times that I brought those things up started having larger gaps in between them. It wasn't as frequent that I was bringing stuff up, and it was allowing me to truly mow through those emotions and heal the healing process. I don't think you can heal just overnight. And if this was a 2 to 3 year long gap in your relationship, it's a lot
and we learned
to heal.
what conversations to have with a counselor.
Right.
Because there's certain conversations, anyone knows this in marriage, there's certain conversations that are hot button topics that if you bring it up, it's just not going to go to a good place.
Right.
So we learned certain conversations that we didn't have, just you and I, that we made sure, hey, this is a conversation that we should have with our counselor. And we learned that because, if a certain conversation that they're having is constantly going to this place of her drudging up the past, that's a conversation they shouldn't have alone. It's a conversation they should have with the counselor there.
Because let me just say something that's going to be unpopular. He's still the husband. He's still called to lead. And I hear what is being said, and I think that's good for a season. But, people are chiming in like, oh, well, you made your bed, now lie in it. You should be kissing her butt forever. That's a statement just made. And I'm going, I couldn't disagree with you more. In my marriage, similar. Like you guys are talking about, having problems in your life. And there came a point in my marriage where I had to stand up as the husband and say, hey, if you're not going to trust me and if you're not going to be in this, I'm out. Because I chose to stay too. I get it. One of us made mistakes and the other one's like sticking it out. But God forgave. As far as the east is from the west, this sin is removed. And I know it's hurtful and I know it's hard. But after X amount of years, I'm done being the whipping boy.
And that's why God gave provision for divorce in the case of infidelity.
Yes. Amen.
Because a lot of times people can't forgive past that.
Yep.
And so he gives a provision, not that this is recommended. His desire would still be that even if that happens, there's reconciliation.
Yeah.
But he recognizes that it's really hard to forgive sometimes and get past that.
Rightly
and so he makes basically an opening that says, hey, if you commit adultery, then there's provision for divorce.
Yeah.
So I always tell couples, look, if you can't actually forgive that, if you're always going to hold it over their head, if it's always going to be now a tool and a weapon you use against them, then you shouldn't stay married.
Right.
It really is a thing where you have to learn how to forgive.
Amen.
And now again, but you can't hold that as like a thing like you need to forgive. Like
you have 6
months.
Yeah.
No,
There's
it's a time. Guess what? Probably as long as it took for you to destroy that relationship is going to take as long, if not longer, for you to reconcile it.
Yeah.
And so you can't rush it because you didn't rush the destruction of your marriage.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
absolutely.
and I just think really it goes back to really having accountability and having people who can speak into your life and speak into your marriage, who know the situation and can really guide you through that healing process. If she hasn't healed yet and it's something she brings up all the time, then obviously you guys need to move forward and pursue that.
A counselor is going to be the best person to call them out on that. If you guys have been in counseling for 2 years and they're still bringing it up, the counselor will be the one to say, hey, look, you really need to stop bringing this up now. And it's going to be way better received from them than it is from you saying, hey, you need to stop bringing this up now.
Yeah.
Man. Word.
All right, we're still waiting for that phone call. Where
Come
are
on.
you, Stormy? Come on.
Give us a call.
We got Nate and Janae Heitzig hanging out, Shock Therapy Live. So 505-338-3700. You can also text in. What's that live line number, Steve-O?
505-585-LIVE. That's 505-585-5483.
A lot of people chiming in on YouTube and Facebook at Star 88FM.
Hey, high of 56 today.
No, you're not doing it right.
No,
Not yet.
not doing it. No.
Traffic is light.
Right. Oh, okay.
Didn't do traffic. We haven't. Yeah.
Weather is light.
No,
56 degrees in the weather today.
Navigate your compass, bro.
All right, we'll be right back. Hang on.
As a Christian, you have a hope to share. With more, here's Matt Chandler on a Star 88 PowerPoint.
It's not just this kind of understanding of our relationship with God that matters, because the you, and you are the salt, you are the light, is emphatic and restrictive. So it's the people of God, but it is the people of God, which means that one of the primary ways God shapes us into more of who we already are is via the grace of the people of God. So that one of the ways he's saying, you are salt, you are light. That's true about you now, but you're going to grow in your saltiness. You're going to grow in your brightness, and it's going to take place over a period of time. And it's going to take place immersed in a community of saints who understand most fully what we just learned above. Namely, that we're all fallen, broken people in need of grace, a Savior, and a safe place to be vulnerable and honest about where we actually are.
That's Matt Chandler on a Star 88 PowerPoint.
What's going on in the news today?
We're less than a week away from the midterm elections.
And we are already seeing huge numbers when it comes to early voting.
If the midterms don't do so well for Republicans, you're all going to lose a lot of money.
A federal grand jury in Pittsburgh indicted Robert Bowers for the synagogue massacre last weekend. He faces 44 counts, including federal hate crimes. He could get the death penalty.
There is growing anger at the University of Maryland, where the Board of Regents voted to reinstate the head football coach 5 months after the death of a player after practice.
A federal prison in West Virginia remains on lockdown as the search continues for the killer of Whitey Bulger.
The suspect, a mafia hitman, Freddie Diaz.
Federal investigators in Tucson swooped in and arrested Ahmad Suhad Ahmad for showing them how to build and blow up a bomb.
One of the nation's largest electric scooter companies recently pulled thousands of scooters off the streets.
Lime says the batteries in some of its devices can catch fire.
The city of Boston is celebrating the Red Sox World Series win.
Some fans toss beer cans to the players. One can damage the World Series trophy.
It's Shock Therapy Live. I wish you guys would pay attention. Gosh.
High of 56 degrees.
that's not
Traffic is light.
That's not it.
Oh, okay.
No. It's 9:31.
High today of 58 degrees.
50. It changed? What?
Nate,
What?
Nate, you used to listen to Buck and Dex all the time. That's how we did every
That
break.
is true. That is true.
Is it really?
It's my formula, man.
That's
Yeah.
actually true.
We would do time, temperature.
But now this is all going to be part of my podcast, bro. Stop ruining my podcast.
Here, you want a clean one?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually do remember, and I remember listening. I actually always really appreciated it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I really did.
Makes it local.
We should appreciate what I do.
Maybe that's because it was so long ago, is before we had everything digitally, and so
No.
it was actually good information.
Because if I'm listening to the radio, it means that I'm obviously not listening to my phone. And so it's really nice to have somebody, an actual human,
We're doing
instead
like
of
a test group right
instead
now
of a
in
computer.
studio.
Instead of a computer telling you this is what the temperature is. It's nice to
Exactly.
hear a human's voice tell you this is what the temperature is today.
Which is why the #1 station in town will always be 770 KKOB.
No, I actually
That's true.
have memories of the times when it was going to be snow, and I heard you say, "Hey, a chance of snow today," and I'd get so excited, like, "What? I didn't know that!"
Said it's gonna snow.
And then I would want to go on my phone
booyah.
to look at what time it was going to snow at.
Listen to that. Listen to that.
Unbelievable.
You know
That's
how
so
often we
funny.
get people texting in asking for traffic updates?
Do
Real.
you?
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
awesome.
That's real life.
It's a real issue.
It's called local radio, which is dying, but we will always be here.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
For at least 6 to 8 months.
What does that mean?
All right, Chuck Therapy Live, guys.
good.
Let's get your questions in. We've had a few so far, but hey, anything personally going on in your life, you can be completely anonymous. We don't have to say your name, and just share what's going on in your life. That's why we do this this hour.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Call in
505-585-LIVE to text in. We got a question related to marriage.
A ring a ding 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 ding
and adultery.
Ding.
There's not a phone call.
It's 505-585.
I got sound effects for that, guys. I could just. Oh, we got a phone call.
Oh, we got one. See, it worked.
Yeah,
No, that was fake.
Oh.
That was.
Okay.
Oh, man.
You're the worst.
Here's a related question.
She thought it was real.
I thought someone really felt me there and was like,
Dang.
yes, I'm calling
Dex
in.
even prefaced pushing the button with "We have sound effects for that." He pressed the button and she still thought it was real.
Hey.
He prefaced pressing the fake button and she still thought it was a phone call.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like your new sound effect to be ring a ding 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 ding.
Oh, we got another phone call.
Lies. Losers.
If you would have got her a second time, oh
She
man.
got so pumped.
I
She
did.
got so excited.
You guys should start a new segment called Ask a Blonde, and you should call Janae randomly and ask her a question, like a question about anatomy, botany, or history.
I can do anatomy. I study that.
Okay.
No. I meant because of nursing. Jeez, way to take it sexual.
Yeah.
It's Shock Therapy
No,
Live.
anatomy is science.
Yeah.
Science, bro.
Totes,
Science.
Bro. Yeah. Related question.
I don't even know if I could
505.
ask a question about botany, though. That's the problem.
About botany?
Botany.
I could.
What's your question about botany?
I can't ask it on this station.
Just
say what you mean. Okay. What is the proper temperature if you are? Never mind.
Stop holding back.
Okay. We gotta get to this question. Way too much.
What kind of climate do tomatoes grow in?
I mean, ours has been growing amazingly, although 2 nights ago there was a freeze warning, and sure enough, it did freeze overnight, and unfortunately, I'm sure everybody's plants are dead.
What time of the year should you plant roses?
I love the laugh track.
505-585-LIVE. We got a text-in question. Here it is. My wife left me for someone else a couple years ago. I was waiting for the laugh track. I have the desire to be married, but I struggle with feeling guilty if I actually pursue that, as if I'm giving up on the hope of reconciliation. I know it sounds pretty ridiculous, because I wasn't even the one that left, but it's there. I even realized in counseling the other day it's purely related to my feeling of duty toward God and not related to any love or connection to her. Any advice on how to work through that?
Well, my question would be, why did she leave you? Because you could say, well, she left me, but did you commit adultery? Because
no,
if
my wife left me for someone else.
Oh. Yeah.
Pay attention, Nathan!
Okay, I'm just sorry.
My
I'm
wife
so
left me for someone else a couple years ago. Left me for
Yeah.
someone else a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think based on what you said,
All American Rejects, move along. Just play it.
it's tied.
Can't play that here.
It's tied purely to what we feel is like a duty to God. But if
Yeah.
she left you for somebody else, you don't have a duty to God at this point for reconciliation.
There's no responsibility.
God has given you a provision for divorce
Yeah.
and remarriage. And so there's a biblical provision for you to pursue remarriage.
Yeah.
And so I don't think you should rush into it, but I think certainly if you feel like you want to be married again, if you feel like that's something you want to do, you don't have to. Don't feel like people can pressure you and be like, bro, come on, when are you going to get back out on the market? But if you feel like you want to be remarried and that's something that you want to explore, I think definitely slowly, cautiously go back into that arena.
And I think sometimes just kind of like with guilt and shame, we can not fully embrace God's forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I think in this way, he kind of has this preconceived idea or thought like, oh, I owe this to God. And really, he paid it all. He's done it all. And so he's already gone before you. He's provided this way out for you. It is biblical. And so don't take that and kind of manipulate it in your head because it might not feel right, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes we still have guilt and shame, and God has already erased all of that when we've repented. And so for him in marriage, thinking that God is holding them to the standard of he needs to wait for reconciliation, the Bible has told him that he has been relieved from that responsibility. And so don't take back up that responsibility like you would take back up shame or guilt or whatever after you've already repented for that sin, if that makes sense.
Dude, you want to hear something cool from the Christian music news arena?
Yeah.
Sure. Off topic.
No. This is totally on
Squirrel.
topic. This is on topic. So our girl Sarah Reeves, as of today, her new album Easy Never Needed You has had 15,369,000 streams.
Wow.
I love her.
That's pretty incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
She's a
Pretty
great,
cool, man.
15 million streams. Come on. Good job, Sarah.
Left in the studio audience, really?
Wow.
Good job,
Gosh,
Sarah.
It was pretty
Good
full
job.
earlier.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think we have a phone call about that.
Well, dude, answer the phone.
I don't believe you.
Oh. No, you're supposed to do the ring so we could trick Janae again.
You know what? You can't.
Nope.
Can't put me on the spot.
You already broke it.
Oh, we got our phone.
Oh, yes. Answer the phone.
No, nobody's calling.
Nobody's calling.
I'm just never going to believe it.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking. You're going to be like, Janae, shut up. I'm like, no, it's not real.
Yeah. Dude, I just want to give you some encouragement. Like, I feel so bad that, unfortunately, is this a church thing? Like, recently we just had Joshua Harris come out and say, you know what, guys, I apologize for I Kissed Dating Goodbye. He's having his publishers completely pull it. They're, like, burning it in the fires of hell. Well, he'll never sell another copy of that book again. And he's on an apology tour because he's recognized the damage it caused as far as marriages and certain things. How much can we say when it comes to situations like this? And I don't want to say that the church is damaged, but it's almost like we hear these really great, inspiring conversations of the till death do you part, and we hammer it in so hard that when a situation arises like this, where he has biblical cause to call it a day, he still feels guilty.
You know, it's not, and guess what? It's not just marriage, and it's not just
no.
The church historically has perpetuated a sense of shame and guilt.
Oh yeah.
That a lot of people. I mean, guess what? A lot of people I've found even have shame and guilt when they get married and have sex. They feel a sense of shame and guilt.
I had to go
having
meet
sex
with
in marriage.
A pastor, because I had been told my whole life how icky and horrible it was. That when I got married and I had sex, I felt guilty.
Yeah.
I felt shame, and it was like because I didn't wait. I had that previous, feeling.
So it
of
does the same thing
before.
with a lot. It does the same thing with alcohol. A lot of people grow up in churches that they're told drinking any alcohol ever is a sin, and so it creates a false sense of shame and guilt for them that's not biblical. So it really is an issue. We have a phone call.
I don't believe
We have a phone call.
Oh,
yeah. Nice try.
We actually did.
We actually did have a phone call, but they hung up.
Yeah, wrong line. Yeah.
Dang it.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry. We actually did.
Hold on. Good morning, Starmy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here in the four-poster bed with the two poodles and the cat.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
A bed with poodles and cats?
Hello? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
She hung up.
Oh.
Dang it.
We tricked you again.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that wasn't real.
You guys.
Ha ha! We fooled you, you fool!
I officially hate you people.
I'm not part of this.
Dex, that was a really good one. You really played that off.
That was really
That was
good.
done really well.
I really don't like you people.
You do. You love it.
All right, we got like
this was gonna happen. We're gonna get a real call and she's gonna make fun of the person on the other
I was
line.
thinking.
Boy who cried wolf. Okay, we got like 2 minutes. How do you let a dude know you're not attracted to them? I'm happily single and I enjoy praying for and encouraging my friends, but not interested in anything more. Janae,
This is how you ready? UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Yeah, you ugly.
Wow.
That's not how you do it. So.
No.
Maybe.
I think you have to be very open and honest.
That
and
was
just,
very honest.
No, you don't tell them that they're ugly.
Okay.
You simply
Look,
say,
if
I'm
you
not,
didn't have a
I'm
horse
not looking to
face,
date
maybe.
anyone.
Gosh.
Holy cow.
I'm not looking to date. I think you're a cool friend. I don't have any attraction to you. And I would just be real. And then they might say, hey, I can't be your friend anymore. Because, not usually. I'm sorry. I won't generalize.
Yeah, don't generalize, bro.
Sometimes men have different motives.
Yeah.
And so they're just hanging out,
You
being
could just
your friend.
lie and say I'm celibate.
No, that doesn't. You should be celibate up until marriage. So yeah, she should be.
And I've taken a vow
Good
of
to know.
celibacy. We have a phone call.
We got a phone call. Good morning.
You failed
Oh,
at
stop
this
it.
miserably. You failed.
Hello?
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
Is this Shock Therapy Live? Hello? Sorry, I put my... It was on mute. Sorry, I'm out running right now. Hello? Can I ask a question? I'm hurting.
Hey, you hang up on yourself. Hang up on yourself.
I love you. You look...
No, we have a real call. We have a real call. We have a real call.
Oh,
We have a real call.
Shock Therapy Live. Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. This is Ariel from Ariel Nivet Salcido.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So I have a question about the topic.
Hold on one second. Can you pause for 1 second? Is it real or is it fake?
It's real, bro.
Is it real or is it fake?
He said it's real.
No, he wasn't supposed to. Sorry, we were trying to trick Janae.
There we go.
Okay, we
Yeah,
can
you
take your
didn't say
question.
hi to the one lady who's getting
we have
made
like
fun
30
of
seconds.
nonstop.
Oh, yeah, we got to go to break.
Yeah, we do, actually.
No breaks.
Wait.
Hey, caller, can you hold on the line so we can get to your question after break?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, this was real. I'm sorry, sir.
Yep.
Got a phone call.
Yep, we got to go to break, guys.
What is this?
Got to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Got to pay the bills.
I got 3.
Wait, we're non-com. All right. Shock Therapy Live. Get your questions
I think Steve-O has the runs.
Yeah,
Well, he
he's
was
got
running.
an
I
issue
know.
with his
That's
bladder.
my point.
505-338-3700 if you'd like to chime in. If you got questions for Shock Therapy Live, the Height Six are here, and we'll get to this guy's question.
It's a high of 56 or 58.
Nope, wrong. That's
One of
not
the
the
two.
formula, bro.
One of the two. Traffic is light.
All right, we'll be right back. Hang out.
Hi, I'm Todd Nettleton, and this is the Voice of the Martyrs Radio. Gilbert Hovsepian was only 17 years old when his father was martyred for sharing the gospel in Iran. The tragedy scarred young Gilbert, and he vowed that he'd never make his children suffer that same loss. But then the day came for him to make a hard choice. 3 men wielding knives threatened him, saying, "We will take your life unless you deny Jesus." When Gilbert opened his mouth, his own words surprised even him. "My dad was killed and God was glorified. Isn't that my purpose?" Despite his fear, he could not deny Christ. Praise God that Gilbert's life was spared and he continues to stand strong for Jesus today.
I will not let my brothers and sisters suffer in silence, nor will I let them serve alone. Unite with us for the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Church on November 4th. Visit vomradio.net/IDOP.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Had as much of you as I can take. I'm so done, so over being afraid. I've gone through the motions, I've been back and forth. I know that you're thinking you've heard this before. I don't know how to say it, so I'm just gonna say it, yeah. Fear you don't own me. There ain't no room in this story, and I ain't got time for you telling me what I'm not. Like you know me, well guess what? I know who I am. I know I'm strong, and I am free. Got my own identity. So fear you will never be welcome here. Take a minute, let it settle in. You probably never saw it coming. Something's gotta give, so I give up you. Oh, there's no room for you here, yeah, I've had enough. The no vacancy sign on my heart is lit up. In case you didn't hear it, here it is again. Oh, fear you don't own me. There ain't no room in this story, and I ain't got time for you telling me what I'm not. Like you know me, well guess what? I know who I am. I know I'm strong, and I am free. Got my own identity. So fear you will never be welcome here. Is there anybody out there just like me? Anybody out there? Anybody needing fear to leave? Oh, yeah. If you don't know how to say it, sing along with me. Sing fear you don't own me. There ain't no room in this story, and I ain't got time for you
Francesca Battistelli, the breakup song, Star 88.
That song
She's
gets
breaking
me.
up with fear.
You
I
muted
love
me.
it.
You jerk.
Well, because you
Gets me every
keep
time.
messing with our formula, dude.
Mm.
It's
I
9:48.
mean, technically, it's his formula.
It's 9:48.
High today of 58 degrees.
The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Gosh, will you talk to him?
You know what? We're not putting this up on the podcast. We can't. It's not even airable on podcast.
It's not even.
Yep. This one's for you, Nate. Christmas music is in the air.
Yes, come on.
That's all you're gonna get is just a little taste.
It's
of
November. It's November 1st. We can officially start playing Christmas music.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I love it.
All right, we got people on hold, you guys. We got
We're
phone
ready.
calls. Thank you so
Wait,
much for
I'll
holding.
wait.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Go ahead, man. What's your question?
Ready to go.
It's kind of a long story, but I was at a party this weekend with my wife and my 10-month-old son, and there was all kinds of other parents at a friend's house, and so there's kids running around everywhere, and so people are coming through the door. My sister-in-law walks in through the door, and there's this like 6-year-old, I guess, and as my sister-in-law comes in to pick up my 10-month-old, there's a 6-year-old that's like, "Oh wow, look at your mask," and he proceeded to pull her mask off her face. And I told this kid, I was like, "Hey man, don't do that."
Right.
So I go on and whatever, doing the festivities. A couple minutes later, I see that this little girl was like probably 4 years old, was pulling my son away from because I'm disabled, so I have a hard time getting up to get my son. I was in a wheelchair. I'm walking now, so I'm a lot better, but I still have troubles. So anyways, I'm trying to get up to get my son, who's like by the stereo, like surround sound system, and I guess the little girl notices. I'm telling him, "No, get away from there." So she tries to pick him up, and I was like, "No, don't pick him up. You can't. He's like almost your size. He's 10 months, almost walking, and she's a very small, petite 4-year-old. So she like drops him and like runs away. I was like, "Oh, all right, whatever." A few minutes after that, I hear this loud commotion outside and the patio, and then I go and I find out that the mother of those 2 kids is the brother-in-law of the main house party, or the dude that's hosting, and she's yelling at them because I told something to their kid. And so I was like, whoa, if you have an issue with me, just talk to me directly. Well, my wife then shoos me aside and tells me, "Why did you tell those kids something?" I was like, "Well, he did this, and that little girl did that, just trying to protect my 10-month-old from, and luckily he landed on his feet when she dropped him, but he still fell on his butt." So I'm like, "I'm protective of my son." She goes, "Well, they're protective of their son because you told him something because he's got Down syndrome." I was like, and she's like, "They're very sensitive about it." I was like, "Well, he doesn't have a sign on his forehead or around his neck, He looks like a perfectly normal 6-year-old, just hyperactive. How am I supposed to know?"
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, you're not supposed to tell him something." I was like, "Well, I see them parenting other kids, and
Yeah.
I saw her pull my son away when they got close to a light socket. I'm not going to get mad for that,
Yeah.
So
you're
where do
calling
we
to see
draw
if
the
you did
line
anything
when it
wrong.
comes to other people parenting other kids,
Parenting other people's kids. Ugh.
or telling them, just mannerism type stuff.
I
Steve-O
think
loves to do
the
this.
policy
Oh,
the policy that I take with this is similar to what you said. Like if they're doing something to your kid, you have a right to tell them to stop. Or if they're in your home,
Can I get that in writing?
or if they're in your home, you have the right to tell them to stop. So I wouldn't be in someone else's home and see their kid doing something in their home and say, "Hey, you need to stop that." But if their kid was doing something to my kid, I'd tell them to stop that.
Right.
If their kid was in my home and was grabbing the lights in my own home, I'd say, "Hey, please don't do that."
Yeah.
So that's kind of the line that I draw, is if it's affecting you or your kids, or if it's in your home and your things. That's kind of the policy I've drawn up in my mind. And I think we live in such a PC culture with that, where people don't want to, you can't tell anyone else's kids what to do. And I think that's so false. I think it's this society where it's like, who are you to tell them what's wrong and I don't like it. So that's kind of the policy I've drawn
But
up.
the thing that also made me really upset was the mother. And
There was no other reasoning behind it. And I'd probably say that just so that she knows, look, I'm not trying to pick on you. It was genuinely just something I was doing to keep an eye out for my son.
Right. Yeah, it caused a big old drama between her and her brother-in-law, which is my friend. And now there was like
Words were exchanged. People got mad. I'm like, okay, it's time for us to go. You know, I'm apparently the problem here. So then they were upset because they made us leave. It was just devilish. And now, for a couple of nights, I could not sleep because I was like,
oh, man.
Go to them in Artesia because we live in Roswell, and the people that were offended live in Artesia. And so I was like, should I go over there and apologize? Should I talk to my friends first, see what they think? Because they've had bad blood between them for a while anyway. So that's a whole other story, I guess.
Man, another story for another day.
Thanks,
man.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, I think you always got to take the humble road in that situation. And
or the broken road if you're Rascal Flats.
Okay, anyway. But once it's already started a commotion, you can always be humble and say, hey, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. This was not my intention.
Yeah.
And kind of voice where you're coming from, but do it kindly, not like, well, you're a dumb kid, blah, 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 blah. You know?
Dear.
So I think
Don't do that. Hey, we have another phone call.
Yeah, we got about 2 minutes. So is this something we can solve in 2 minutes? Hello?
Hello?
You there,
Hi.
buddy? Hello? You still there? Okay. Well,
Hello? Hello?
all right, thank you so much.
Maybe they walked away from the phone.
We got a text. I'm going to read it as fast as possible. I'm going to lead off with this. My wife and I are currently going through a divorce. There's been a lot of damage done in the past, infidelity on both sides. It started with myself battling an addiction with pornography years ago. I still battle, but because of God, I've been better. I thought we worked things out, but my decisions drove a wedge in our relationship. Then about a year after, she had a few guys she was texting, and some pictures were exchanged. Long story short, after a bunch of lies, fights, and me losing trust in her completely, she wanted out. She didn't want to work on anything. I did. We ended up deciding to separate. It's been about 8 months, and now she wants to reconcile, but I just don't want to anymore. My life is way less stressful, and our relationship now is good. The kids don't see us fight like we did when we were together. My relationship with God is much better than it's ever been. I rededicated my life to Christ after being out of the church for 10 years. I can't help but feel a sense of guilt that we never worked on things, and I'm not too sure if I should even consider working on things. What is my duty as a Christian man to my soon-to-be ex-wife?
I don't think we have time to answer that, so thank you. We'll get to it next time.
I mean, they're going through a divorce, infidelity on both ends. We talked about the fact that, like, obviously that's not God's heart for it. He allowed a certificate of divorce in those instances, but that's not the heart.
Yeah, I would probably still personally pursue reconciliation with, parameters and boundaries and guidelines of, hey, in order for this to work, we need to get counseling. We need to work towards it and not necessarily get right back together as far as stay separated and work on your marriage that way and then slowly bring the unity back together if that's possible. The fact that he's healthier in his relationship with God gives this marriage a bigger and better chance. And so don't use your relationship with God like, oh, I'm so much better with God. Now I don't need you in my life. It's like, no, if God's really helping you, perfect. Now infiltrate your marriage with God.
Good.
Well, you answered it in 60 seconds. Good job.
Good job, Janae.
What can I say? I'll be here all day.
No, you won't. You're going to leave
I gotta
in
go.
like 10 seconds. Don't lie to people. You're a liar. You're lying on the air. You just got people's hopes
You
up.
know what? Pray for me.
You got it.
You're beyond prayers.
Oh, wow.
Man.
All right, well.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Oh, yeah, 10 years. Congrats, guys.
No, not today.
Tomorrow.
Isn't it tomorrow?
It's mañana.
You guys going to do anything cool?
Each other.
Oh, wow.
Married. We're married. It's okay.
Oh, my God.
It's beautiful in the eyes of Jesus.
I actually planned on studying for
Beautiful
my
in the
message.
eyes of Jesus.
Don't come back.
All right, everybody.
Fire in a fireplace is good.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
Let it go.
Yep. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That's all we got. There ain't no more. That's right. Time is tight. It's the end of the show.
Pastor Jack Graham and a Star 88 Supernova.
It's very vital that you learn good conflict resolution in life.